I see none other than Phantoms, Vandals, all alike. Now, for the side of Hidden Leaf, it's only a question how well they're going to be able to battle back against it. Now, they do have some Guardians, a Bulldog, yes, Spectre and Stinger. That's quite nice to see. But compared to the T1 guns currently Artisans are going to be rocking, it's quite a bring down, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely is. They're going to be struggling for this one, but if there's any opportunity for a snowball, this would be the chance to take. Yet again, Artisans heading up through mid. It didn't work out in the pistol round, but Hidden Leaf, they've given them a little bit more space, and the Artisans are taking it, heading in towards the A-Link side there to get themselves potentially an angle into the eastern site.
Oh, it's getting dangerous. Smokers here. Again, the double. Controller gonna be fantastic. Comes out swinging.
Oh.
And just like that. Oh, Hidden Leaf have been revealed. 3 people down. Looking to finish it out. So, although still a half fight back here from the Viper. Lib gonna return the fire, but it won't be enough as you still have the double man count currently against you. Artisans trying to push it back. But as close they're standing, the guns they currently lock. Now, the Phantom definitely is gonna be nice here. But wasted quickly enough. The second you realize you're playing against the one and only, Doris puts one in the grave. And the final one, Lib with a kill. Trying to ruin the economy for a moment, and in the end, Artisans with their first round.
In fact, a 2-1 scoreline. So, we head in as the barriers drop. Again, it's mid pressure and presence. This time, though, there's a little bit of resistance, if only in the utility. So Recon Dark comes on through. And the push out as well from the Omen of J is quickly rebuffed. Now a double face being established with Hitter. Sorry, is going to be in a bit of danger, but still finds the 2 kills that they need as a fight back, though. As 2 picks in response, we find ourselves in a 3 versus 3.
The 2 kill leaders stepping up to the task and getting themselves 2 for the HP. Sure, sorry, going for the plant now. How are we going to be denying that? Simply won't. The post will be initiated. And with that, the side of Leaf slowly start approaching on in. Stepping through the smoke, but that's the biggest mistake you made as they spray him down. 2 gonna make it still quality, but in the end, it's all left to the Jet. And between the Silva to handle business. Noticing here from the side of Artisans is that they really like sticking together. I mean, we had 4 players in one corner of mid.
Yeah, they are traveling as a pack, which yeah, I guess so. They're holding hands, but history will say they're just friends.
Oh God.
There you go.
Human centipede.
Why would you say that? Oh dear. Oh no. Okay. Well, it's been nice knowing you, everyone. PuffoBob, that's his last broadcast ever.
Famous final words. There we go. With that, we return to it. Again, we see the 3-2 split. Gonna be fantastic. We passed on the move, or rather the sentence that was just outspoken, and with it, Ita, being cheeky, runs away in a moment, doesn't want to give away the first blood, and just like that, we bring it back to a stalemate.
Yeah, one thing that I'm noticing is that despite that Artisans are getting a lot of early looks around the map, there's not been much utility to kind of back it up, so it means that for the side of Hidden Leaf, they're not really having to worry here about where things are. They know that there's going to be a push through mid, but Jay still gets caught out. It means that Lib can try and find the flank here, but too many targets and can't quite isolate the correct gunfight in front of them.
Here.
Everyone left alive, but I mean, yeah, the Jet left on such low HP. Juice here, well, he's going to get shut down. Mitri, though, only good for 1, and Torture still finding the picks. That's 2 kills And that whiffed gunfight from Lib is certainly going to come back to haunt them now, as he's the only one left standing. A thrifty round win for the Artisans to get them back in this game.
Oh my, the amount of golden opportunities passed down to Hidden Leaf here is quite incredible. They keep on getting themselves into spots where they can pick off multiple targets at once, but not being able to execute that on perfect occasion definitely does bring it down. We saw that into motion just that prior round, and with it as well, the Jet being on low HP, carrying a Sheriff, and then that exact same Jet then picking off two of your vital players there to stop the push. It really makes it seem a bit risky, but you know, it's the side of Hidden Leaf making their own mistakes. Hopefully they're going to be able to repent for them. But as of the moment, we're going to be returning 3-2. The lead is still theirs. And I'm imagining they want to keep it as Nightfall shows itself.
Yeah, again, they're going very hard, very fast into this. Cosmic Divide, though, on the other side, it does give a little bit of a pocket in the corner for Wasted to try and find an avenue to fight back in. That's for right now, they're just sticking back and away as MLZ gets this plant down. Energy spots the flank too, knows that they're going to be under pressure with the two sets of utility coming in. Overdrive coming through, but it's the kill from Wasted that actually ends up finding Purchase. Everything falling now for the way of Artisans as the pendulum swings and we tie up the game.
Yeah, I'm seeing chemistry starting to lack from the side of Hidden Leaf. Maybe they got those 3 opening rounds from maybe catching Artisans by off guard, but Artisans clearly know how they want to structure themselves around this map. For the side of Hidden Leaf, we saw it in action. 3 players, they got trapped behind, isolated from the solo player, and they all at the same time wanted to hop on the box to get the upper angle and a bit of high ground. At the same time, they ended up going onto site, trying to peek it, trying to deny anyone pushing them, but I imagine they were all looking in a very similar direction, not being able to necessarily discern, I guess if you were to say discern. Sure, let's stick with that word. Discern which angles who wants to speak with. And in the end, again, it's a bit of a cluster, but it is the early stages, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt for now.
Yeah, and it's also Corrode, so, you know.
Fair enough.
It's the Artisans map pick as well, so you'd expect them maybe to have some sort of idea of what they want to do on this map, but as for right now, it's the Astra lurking who's been caught out. Dimensional Drift being chased, but they just don't check for energy! Mitri in the drone, Jay looking the wrong way, and suddenly again, we talk about the pendulum. Everything was going the way of Hidden Leaf until those mistakes came creeping back in. Wasted, 1 on 4. Does take down the first, but it's only a consolation as the Artisans take the lead.
Hidden Leaf, such a promising opening, yet it's starting to slowly shatter down upon them as the lead is overtaken. The Kings have been overthrown, and now they need to regain that sort of advantage. Otherwise, this first half isn't going to be looking the brightest. Some ults, I can see some ults starting to also pop out for the side of Mitri. We are going to have Hunter's Fury. And while though I can understand that Artisans, like you said, we've seen a lot of ults being used from them, and 4 for the side of Hidden Leaf right now, they might be able to bring it back, and hopefully they do so quickly before Artisans start snowballing it.
Yeah. Again, especially on the attack, you start getting those plants down, 300 credits per person for that too. Means that the economy can quickly flourish for an attacking side. And Hidden Leaf back down on half buy. They've got a Judge and a Bucky and a couple stingers, but it's still not great, especially when you consider the operator on the other side from Dorcha.
Holding it in silence. No one wants to make the first move. Hidden Leaf have been getting punished for it just too commonly. Want to bring down the kill count for the enemy team just for a sudden moment, as currently some of the players are going to be rocking a bit of those lower category guns, such as the Sheriff. We saw it. Now, do they want to use all their utility this round around, or are they going to be saving it for a possible future opportunity? Only remains within question. As for Artisans, they're definitely not going to be stopping and trying to get themselves a control.
30 seconds
Heading
left.
into this juice. First one to really press the issue. Hitter is still close on the corner, tucked. His energy find the opening kill, not onto that Neon, but Conrad rats over instead. Oh, the gate crash right into the waiting arms, but couldn't quite land the kill. It's messy. So done messy. And again, it's a 1v4 for one of these Hidden Leaf players. It's Lib, who'd invested the Viper's Pit over towards B, just a judge in hand.
And a dream. Don't forget about the dream part, because there's still some kills involved. Now, Dorsha there for the final, making sure that it's not going to be for Nada, not allowing Lib to pick up a gun better than that judge. We do see the 5th round here for Artisans, and I love their positioning, I love their entry. From the side of Hidden Leaf, I could not say the same. What I think I spotted, I imagine that was the case, is while though they were positioned to make sure that each entry from the enemy team was covered, if one of their players died, there wouldn't be anyone in a comfortable spot to replace their position or maybe cross-hold where the initial thought was for the enemy team, such as Artisans right now. They kill one, they get easy access. All the other teammates from the side of Hidden Leaf are shut out with not much of comfortability to get themselves back.
There we go. Again, this time the A site completely abandoned for Hidden Leaf. And Artisans, they've found themselves quite a bit of success hitting into this eastern portion of the map. They're going to find the same success here. Straight away, getting in. Lib not going to be able to do anything to prevent it, and neither is the Hunter's Fury from Mitri. The opening kill does go the way of Hidden Leaf, though, so a 5 versus 4 in favor of the defense. Make it 5 versus 3 as Wasted doubles down.
MLG misses the opportunity for extra intel, but with Lib entering, it's going to be a completely different story. Going their narrative, not for much longer. We see the Fade picking up the pen, but some goes for Dorsha as the Knights pulled out for a moment, but Jay comes in swinging for the final, and just like that, we have a defusal. Hidden Leaf are bringing it back. Now they're going to be only 1 round behind Artisans. They still need to catch up for just a moment, and while those still lurking in their shadow, it's definitely going to be promising. They get themselves back on economic advantage, I would say so, and at the same time, they haven't used potentially all ults. Jay still does have his teleport.
Yeah, so the timeout going to be called there. Hidden Leaf, despite winning that previous round, not happy with how this half is going. And honestly, I think that's kind of fair. Just on paper, you'd expect Corrode to maybe lean towards the defenders a little bit. And Hidden Leaf, they chose to start on the defense here as well. So you combine those facts together, trailing is certainly not where they want to be. They have been able to pick up some of the guns, though, an operator in the hands of Jay. Potentially to bring some parity, Bob.
Hopefully. I mean, at this point, you want to start leaning into a 7-5 split. At least getting yourself to that 6th round is going to be the bare minimum. And both of these teams are racing to have a draw at the bare least. Which, I mean, we do see Artisans, they're 1 round away from it, and 3 rounds still remain in this half. Meaning, with this timeout, Hidden Leaf are trying to really get themselves inside that comfort zone. They got the round, it was decent, 3v1 at the very end, which also ended up with no further casualties. And with that in mind, now they reset the tempo, they get themselves back on close, and with mid being still contested quite heavily, the movement from Hidden Leaf starts slowly closing in like a sort of sandwich, you may call it, onto this mid side.
Yeah, indeed, and again, it's a clash. Fake out clone making its way through, nobody fooled from the defense as the operator rings and sings its way out. There's a double from Lib, and Jay with a double as well. Energy 1 on 5 to try and find anything for Artisans on this round. Oh, well, there's the first 2.
Okay. Energy, ready to convert it, recycle what's been lost.
That's still power as well. That could be big.
That could be huge. But is it worth it? Do we want to reserve it for later? What's the gamble going to be? 2 lined up perfectly.
No way.
Spray Energy most them down. Now only 1 to remain. Gets the spike as well. Huge position. Picks up the shorty just because why not? It's extra value for the cash. Putting traps behind. Got to have that security right on lock. Get yourself in the position you definitely want to be as Lip too slowly closing in. But the fact that it's gotten too close, this close should not be.
Has no idea where Lib is, though. Right now, they're just passing each other like ships in the night. Surely you expect maybe them to be on the site by now. No tap from Lib, so it keeps Energy guessing. but eventually you will have to start applying that pressure. And there's the Steel Garden being taken away. Lib just sticking it to half, though, inside of the smoke. Oh, he's just sticking it all the way right under the nose. Gets the round. The 1-on-5 looked so doable, but it's tossed away at the final moment, and we're tied up.
Oh, what a way to kick a man down. Pros don't fake, that's what they say, so it truly stands. Oh my goodness, not only was the ult gone, not only did the Viper only need a single smoke to get themselves in perfect position, and at the same time, full security. Oh, but the Vise, imagine, it must hurt. It could have been a game changer, that ult. The Steel Garden is not to be played around with, but really wanting the round and still not getting it, it's just rubbing salt on the wound.
Yeah, really nice play though there from Lib just to have the balls to stick the defuse there. You know, they say pros don't fake, Bob. That certainly is one of those situations, and perhaps Artisans still a little bit scrambled from that. Dorcha walked straight into the waiting arms of Hitter, who has now been traded out by Energy, who is still maybe a little bit angry after that previous round didn't go their way. And Artisans now have the player advantage.
Oh, yeah. I would be angry too if in their position, but that's going to be fueled to the fire. 2 takes 1, gets taken out the second after. But the piece, the numbers, still going to be working here for the side of Artisans. A bit of stun on Lib, not recognized fully, but standing right beneath their noses. Random sprays could be close, could be deadly. That's for Lib to say, as that's the true word coming out of their mouth with a bullet right after it. 2 against 2, post-plant still not initiated. And just like earlier, like mentioned, ships in the night, crossing between each other, trying to get their path straight, but they simply can't get the information needed without a fade as well. It's going to be a bit difficult. Jay simply sticking, being patient. Patience pays off, but not hitting those bullets will certainly come back and bite you, as all down to Lib yet again. And in a 1v2, this might be a bit more difficult than earlier.
Can Lib clutch out 2 rounds in a row? That's certainly going to be the question. And I thought Jay would have been good for at least 1 there inside of elbow, but now that position being taken up by Energy instead. Being able to find that fight too. No chance of a clutch this time around. Artisans, they regain the lead. This has certainly been one hell of a half here, Bob. And unfortunately for Hidden Leaf, they're going to have to try and end it on a half buy.
That is the bearer of bad news here, truly. Some of the players still manage to back themselves up, but for the majority, I don't think that's going to be standing too much. We'll see how it goes. They've done it before. I think they can work with worse guns at times, as if extra pressure applied, maybe they can shine plate. Although not too quite certain. And this time around, it seems like Artisans are going to be fully sticking their momentum onto A and A alone.
And we certainly love ending on this site. They're going to do it again. Deus with Dimensional Drift is going to be able to get all of that information. And yeah, they spotted our Mitri behind the box. Not before there was able to be a kill from Jay. So a 4 versus 4 heading into this post-plant situation. I mean, it certainly seems vaguely doable for Hidden Leaf here to tie up the half, Bob.
It definitely does. But I think it matters a bit more for the side of Artisans, as they don't want to have themselves in a split. They want to go into the second half a bit more comfortability, second chances. Well, those lifelines really do come in handy when it comes down in the form of rounds. But never underestimate Hidden Leaf. Jay, Hida, that's a triple with the side of Wasted as well. He's wasting anyone in pass standing in his path. Wall set up top. Dorcha there on the path for greatness. Do we get the yes? Yes, we do! The Vandal shows no mercy, and no one escapes Dorcha.
A 1 versus 4, an ace to keep the lead for Artisans heading into the half. That is absolutely massive from Dorcha. Unbelievable impact there in round number 12. And like I said, the Artisans retain the lead into the half. It's just a 2-round lead though. So Hidden Leaf, they've got a chance here on the pistol round to set themselves up for a tie game. Especially considering, though, they won the pistol in the first half and still only walked away with 5. On the defense of Corrode, It's looking slightly subpar from them, so we need a massive step up here on the attack.
No one else is massive. It's going to be Hida swinging in with a very fantastic dash and still getting away with her life. 2 taps, heads like balloons, get away with them. Although Energy passing down the similar vibe, still getting spotted right around the corner with the combination of Jay. There's going to be simply no standing chance against it. 2v3 here, and Artisans are looking to paint it all red. As for the side of Hidden Leaf, they have 3 players to work with. One of them might be low, but don't consider that as bad juju. Possibly even seeing as how Hida has been working, rather hitting the enemy team, it could prove quite fatal.
Absolutely could. 2 on 3 Artisans. It's possible for them. Oh, the jump onto the box. Spots the barrel of Wasted, but can't land the shot, and Jay is there to lock it down. So Hidden Leaf, the second pistol of the series, goes their way, and they bring the deficit down to just that singular round.
One behind. Bucky on Hida, that's going to be good news. As seeing what they can do with a sheriff, or rather a ghost. God knows what this speedy character can get onto. What malicious intent is behind that 12 gauge. And with 1 round between them, again, looking to close it out. These round counts have been really close. Although some of these rounds have gotten also close as in when it comes to really it being tight at the very end state. But I've been loving that this is a true rivalry between these teams and not just a mowdown from one.
There you go. Well, that's the power of the Bucky. Especially in the hands of a Neon, just waiting for the push through, but MLZ, a right click to the dome, and picks up the shotgun to deal some extra damage. It's Wasted with 3 on the round, and Energy a 1 on 3 to try and clutch it up. Already has found the opener. Brings it down to a 1 on 2. Now picks up the Bucky. It's been a bit of a cursed weapon at times right now. The first tap on the spike. Spycam is going to do the reveal. That's extra information, extra time being wasted away. He misses the cam on the second time of asking 2. So it's more information being taken down, and Lib is there. It got a little bit close, a little bit scary there, Bob. But even still, it's the round for Hidden Leaf.
Yeah, this Bucky was passed down from generation to the very last few players. And with it, a good attempt came along, but we finally have the equalization both of these teams were waiting for. One side maybe not happy about it, but imagine the side of Hidden Leaf here are going to be more than joyful, because with a 7-7, not only do they get to keep up their economy, but now they're going to be going up against the bonus of the side of Artisans, who are ready to pack a steal, and even then, that bonus necessarily won't be fully used, as we see Spectre, Bulldog. It's, again, not on the same tier that we get to see it from Hidden Leaf, or Artisans.
5 on 5 again, push up Miz. And Artisans maybe tasting some of their own medicine here. As that quick push up, does remove the life of their Yoru. And again, it's that A pivot coming through. Has to be the one to rebuff this attack, and well, with the player on about 1 HP as well, you'd certainly think that maybe there's a chance, but with the Astra falling, it's now an open sight for the side of Hidden Leaf, as that's certainly a dodgy gunfight there. I was about to say 2 versus 4, but Energy quickly takes that away from my mouth. A 1 versus 2, Bob.
And no roll theft coming out just to ensure that this is going to be a round they can claim. They can also reclaim that leverage from the for themselves. At the final one on MLT, we've seen them do due diligence in that Bucky. But when it comes down to fighting against actual guns that are a bit more considerate, gonna have to see with these 20 seconds also following into the post plan are gonna be telling us does have a Phantom, definitely has the opportunity. 2v1s in the past haven't necessarily gone the way teams wanted them to. At least for the losing side, Lib right around the corner, gets the head tap, completely dinks him back, takes out the final, nail in the coffin, and just like that, it seems like Hidden Leaf have retaken.
Yeah, they've found their stride here on the attacking half. That's 3 in a row for them. They knock Artisans back down to an eco as well. They call the timeout, clearly not wanting things to get too out of hand here on the second half of Corrode. Again, it's their map pick on a map that certainly seemed to be defend-decided so far. And they're currently 0-3 on defensive rounds. You don't want the momentum to pick up for Hidden Leaf. You don't want that snowball to start in terms of the economy, in terms of anything like that. But as we know, Bob, in Valorant, the hardest round to win is the round right after you've won the bonus for 3 in a row.
That is true. That is...
The hardest round to win is the round after winning the anti-bonus.
Yes, absolutely. Although, you speak about them not wanting to pick up the snowball, I feel as if they already have. At this point, I mean, you might have mentioned that the curse could come around swinging for an unexpected surprise, but for the side of Hidden Leaf, they're thriving off of it, they're reaping off of those benefits as much as they want, and as they continue into this buy phase, I imagine the thought process right now was going to, how do we stop it? What will Artisans truly change about their strategy to make it out? And as for the current moment, I'd say... expect the aggression. Hidden Leaf have been bringing in some heavy hitters here, especially with the Neon. Let me not even mention it, how many kills happened that shouldn't have necessarily. And on the side of Artisans, they haven't been the best at denying it.
Yeah, they absolutely haven't. And Hitter running in again. Dale just not expecting them to be that far pushed up and immediately shut down. That's exactly what you were talking about, Bob. Just not expecting it, not ready for it, and not prepared to deal with the Neon. And now Dorcha, I was going to say, could potentially walk right into the same path, but wisely decides just to hang back a little bit.
Waiting around for the opportunity, doesn't want to leave A unattended, and with a Sheriff could heal. Oh, it was so close, they missed themselves by an inch. Could have went to a gunfight, but now we're going to convert it to B, as that's where the main action currently relies. Information revealed, Jay comes out with a teleport, but still needs to secure this spike to be on the ground, and stay so as it does. HP not going to be good onto the Viper. Vibe's going to be one bullet away from certain death. Just get back up, but still red. From behind, Hitta comes in with the aggression, and where's the reflex? It simply comes through, sure sorry! Still gets one, not sorry though. Jay and Mitri do return the favor as the final one stands. Gets a couple of taps, bodies, heads for the final, but it matters not as the HP might be a bit too low to handle. Mitri with the final spray, 2 rounds ahead, and well, it seems the curse has been broken.
Yeah, indeed it has. That's 4 in a row to start the half here from Hidden Leaf. Starting to put distance between themselves and Artisan. And the key factor in that round, I feel like, was the lurk coming through from Hitter. And while, yes, they only found one, it provided the distraction for just long enough to still disjoint the players of Artisans just a little bit. And again, not being caught on the initial was certainly a big factor of that too. So it's unlucky for Dorcha with the timing, but lessons for the future, and now has an Odin. They are pulling out all of the nerd stuff here for this map. As we know, the walls are made of paper mache. And this Odin could be massive in terms of preventing the plant, but Hitter is just running in and has already found the opener onto energy.
It's always Hitta. It's always surprising, but at the same time, if it's not going to be prevented, don't fix what's not broken here. Hitta, open, fantastic. First blood going to be spilled. Ready to overdrive it on down and run these competition attempters. The moment that they're going to show their faces, the blind comes through, but matters not as Deuce is not able to escape his fate. The second there will be chained on to a third, with the ball going to be unlucky timing. Sure, sorry, looking to put a stop to the current aggression that's been being pulled from the side of Hidden Leaf, but they still need to break way. Coming out for a peek, Hitta with a third, looking to make it an ace, but a quad is going to suffice as Jay there prior with one as well, and double digits for the side of Hidden Leaf.
Gunfights through the wall. That's the reason you buy an Odin on this map specifically, is to deny the plant. And they just did nothing. Just the plant goes down, you have to try and retake with an Odin. I mean, it's a fairly tricky weapon to wrangle like that. And all the kills go the way of Hitter, who's been putting in an incredible performance here in the second half.
keep it going. That's the mentality they're going to be currently holding on to. The grasp tightening the longer of a run they currently have. And with it, we have to keep in mind 6. Is it 6? No, 5 rounds in a row currently going for the side of Hidden Leaf. That is phenomenal performance. They've already basically evened out, or rather doubled on what they currently held in the first. So if they keep it going, again, the avalanche is starting to set in.
I mean, to be fair, it might as well be 6 looking at the buy that Artisans have, but sorry, maybe wants to shut me up there with the opening kill. Raid boss down, Hitter has fallen.
Spike planted.
But it's still the trade, and it's still 4 versus 4 as Spike goes down on B. The attack have found themselves in some pretty entrenched positions, MLZ. Nearly in a gunfight themselves, but Perez wasted with the Vandal. It's only good for 1 as Dorcha drive-by Ferrari Peak with the Marshal of all weapons. So again, the man count is not being allowed to really get out of control there by the side of Artisans. And the Still Garden comes on in. That's going to bring some more parity between them. It's just Jay up in heaven, 1 on 2, but has brought it down to a 1 versus 1. Up on the top ropes and is finding the clutch.
Jay could have played mind games, simply waited around and stuck to find out, but no, wants to bring the fight to an honorable 1v1 and wins it either the way, as now the side of Hidden Leaf are going to be 1 round away from match point, 2 away from a victory within regulation, and seeing as that round may have not been the best, Artisans need this one. They will require this one because playing against a match point 5 rounds apart and then going flawless into those following 5 is definitely a task of itself, so make sure to lock in right now because I'm not seeing the Artisans we did on that half point.
Yeah, it looks like a completely different team, and I mean, maybe I'm looking quite silly now for saying that Corrode is defend-decided, but I promise, chat, this map should be defend-decided.
It looks like it.
Yeah. It should be defend-decided. Unfortunately, Hidden Leaf and Artisans had a little bit of a different plan, although if you ask anyone, I'm sure Artisans definitely are not planning for this to happen. They haven't won a single defense. In fact, it's been 6 in a row. Lib, though, ahead of the shear, which gets triggered and fast lane up, but Hitter coming in just in time, and Viper's Pit now able to be utilized too. 5 on 3 on the site, and yet again, Artisans are just crumbling. It's looking like they're going to have to try and defend this map point on an eco round, but Shasori again has a different picture. Deus just about in the ult in time and gets the information across, and that's energy to deal that blow to Mitri. So, man advantage, it's flipped, it's found itself, the other Vapor, and the information from the Dimensional Drift is massive there for plenty of kills. A post-mortem snakebite to take down the Vice. But in the end, it's inconsequential. And Artisans, they do stave off the map point for now.
Just for now. 3 still remain between them. And all the meanwhile, it definitely worked out. Viper's Pit was fantastic. Like you mentioned, the info calling from the Dimensional Drift, nothing else than phenomenal. With it, Hidden Leaf, they tend to rely off of that. They tend to be the ones trying to trick around you, get up into your face as close as they can until they've already taken you out. This was not an opportunity this time around, and with a 2v3 for the final, and of course the side of Shursari taking care of business in that end round. Double kill as well to switch it from a 3v5 to a 3v3. Influential and really huge.
Go, go, go! Short gun! Shock it!
Head in again, it's that quick, hasty burst in towards the A site. Hitter just cannot be stopped, man. It's ridiculous what he's able to do.
Spike planted.
And basically secures the entire site for Hidden Leaf. There's the spike down. A nightfall from the defense to try and retake the Prowler, giving the information away, but Deus caught between a rock and a hard place. The information will be known. He gets shut down. Dorcha, what can you do? As the only remaining duelist for this defensive side, does find the opener. Just stopped for now. MLZ, another, and it's a 3 versus 3 here in the post plant.
3 versus 3, we've seen it before. This time around, no Viper Spit, but Artisans are still going to be making life. Sticking to the deep use, doing it away with it. Oh, Hannah comes in just in the nick of time to wipe them all off the map. within a moment, night and day. That's the performance that, of course, Artisans were not expecting. They were too focused and prioritized on holding the right, but the left option was open for Hida to slide into their DMs, drop a goodbye, and leave them shocked with a 12-8 match point. What?
Yeah. That's a ridiculous play. An unreal spray transfer and then sliding into the gunfight for the final pick as well. That's what we've been seeing all half from Hissa. It's been a ridiculous showing, and again, just letting them hang on Artisans, really. Oh, the overdrive being popped now. It's just literally cannot be stopped. Oh well, okay. Apart from that happening.
Had a short heart attack there for a moment because Hida's been doing this for way too long. And finally, Artisans, they get the lead, but not for much longer as the Odin is going to be popping its name on right to the kill feed. Dimitri right behind it. Backing off for a moment. Hunter's Fury could deal a fatal blow if aimed just about correctly. Does get a single tap to lower the HP. In the meanwhile, Deuce is going to be taking the fall. A second one to fall as well with it. And in a 2v1 position, time is going to be ticking, and that's definitely a virtue you want to be saving for yourself. Goes for the defuse. Not going to be faking, rather will. Goes for the second energy. Seems to be finding it. Wasted is going to be gone. And just like before, the Viper cannot save you this time around as Lib will be closing it out 13-8. Regulation for Hidden Leaf and looking to close it out on Bind.
Well, what a map that was for these two sides. But particularly for Hidden Leaf, because you know, at the half, it looked like shaky map. But they came back, and Artisans only able to find the one map victory after the break. I mean, that's fairly diabolical. It's fairly diabolical for them. So Corrode goes the way of their opponents. The map they picked that was supposed to be, you know, the trick up the sleeve. It didn't work out for them, and instead they end up falling. Bind is going to be interesting though, Bob.
Yes, it will be very interesting. Maybe we can see Artisans pull off some hidden cards up their sleeve, but that's up for time to tell. And speaking of it, we're going to be taking it to a short break so we can rest, you can rest, get yourself something to drink, munch on, whatever it may be. Just make sure to stay tuned.
Hello.
Hey.
Bob's having a think about Valorant, I assume.
I hope so.
You're the one who would know. Yeah.
Would I?
There's not much going on in your head, to be fair. Let's talk about buying, shall we?
That is unbelievable, ladies and
Let's
gentlemen. Bullying right on stream.
let's talk about bind. Map number 2 between Hidden Leaf and Artisans.
Mhm.
Are you really going to be sitting on the couch?
Yeah, no, I'm
the
staying here. I'm staying here until we
Nice.
call it off. But yeah, we talk about it. I mean, we have Bind. How are we excited about Bind, Charlotte?
I can't wait for Bind. I'm so excited for Bind. And I'm expecting a Hidden Leaf win as well. They won on their opponent's map pick. They looked very good on their attacking side. Bind's a map that I feel like if you can attack quite well, you're gonna do quite well on this map. It can be a bit of a tricky one for the defenders at times. So yeah, I've got a good feeling about Hidden Leaf in this one. And like we said, they already won on their opponent's map pick. It was it 13-6, 13-7?
13-8.
13-8, somewhere around there. Yes, of course it was 13-8. I know how to count because clearly 7 + 1 is 6. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how numbers work, of course. So yeah, 13-8 on their opponent's map pick. Fairly close first half, dominated on the second, and they're starting out on the attack here as well, which is very, very exciting as we have the agent select in right now.
Yeah.
And we are getting the deadlock from Wasted, and again, energy's on that Vice.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to close in slowly because I'm starting to lose sight of certain characters and who they might be. But the deadlock, that's gonna be interesting. I'm also looking towards Lib Brimstone. I am a huge fan of Brimstone. Same goes for, of course, the
You a
sorry.
Grimmer.
I'm a huge Grimmer. I am a Grimmer all day, every day, and I'm proud to be a Grimmer. But we are going to be carrying over some characters we've seen before, such as the Fate, such as the Viper for the side of Hidden Leaf, and at the same time, a new introduction here from Reyna on Deuce.
Yeah, Reyna's an interesting one. Still sticking with the Jet as well on Dorcha. It seems to me a little bit like it's just a comfort pick, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is much more of a Raze map, as you know, we can see Jay on that Raze themselves, but I'm surprised we're not still seeing that hit a Neon because they were very, very good at it in the previous, and yet again, I feel like this is a pretty good map for the Neon. Instead, heading over to the Raze. Jay, who was on Omen before, is now picking up the Duelist. So that'll be an interesting one to watch as the first fight comes through towards a short. Or at least, there we go. Yeah, they're gearing up for it.
They're going up for it. Dorcha there, going to be nicely introducing us to the opening kill pick, but still has more than enough bullets. One, and that's going to be more than enough needed. Gets the double, helps out MOG. Now is refranked, but matters not because it's still down to a 4v2. Hitta's still trying to hit back, but not going to find the opportunity as the final two here are going to be stuck. And I do believe this is not going to be the best beginning here from Hidden Leaf.
Indeed, not necessarily in the best of positions, but yeah, a 2v4 is possible. The Artisans. Oh, there we go. The final God. 2 kills cleaned up by MLZ. It's nasty there in the first pistol round for the side of Artisans in the series so far. They didn't win a single one back on Corrode, so positive signs, I think, is the term there, Bob.
Positive signs, And you take away hit of speed, you take away the neon, it slows them down so majorly that even in the end phase, not being able to pack much of a punch themselves, but that matters not. It's the first round, it can go either way, but let's consider it and keep it simplified like that just for now. Loving the Marshall pick here. Will it pick anyone off? No, Dorsha not connecting the dots just yet, but people from the side of Half-Leaf are really, the side of Hidden Leaf are really teasing them, and Hida is, well, sticks around and finds out.
Yeah, you don't really have the neon movement this time around to get you out of that spot. The jump peak punished by that scoped weapon. So again, the advantage for the defense. And the attack of Hidden Leaf are posturing themselves closer towards B. You still have one player sticking around, maybe to try and sell some kind of fake. Wasted on the deadlock. But now the spot comes through on B. Rotation's not being called just yet. You can tell the Artisans are thinking about it.
A lot of players considering here. Do we go for the swing? Do we wait it out? I mean, the smoke is definitely going to be dissipating in just any moment. And Jay on the movement. Satchels maybe ready to rock and roll. With the classic, it definitely can deal damage. Opening here from the side of Sorry in the final moments. Wasted does return it with a sheriff of their own. Popping heads in the meanwhile, looking to pop some threads. The spike going to be going down. Nicely secured. Safe and sound. Can't get the necessary wallbang to stop him in the moment. And just like that, it seems like Artisans, even though with definitely superior artillery, not being able to back him up on it, but Dorsha connects one shot, not the second. Yes, they do! As it comes out with a hip fire. We've seen this on the side of VCT not too long ago. Energy with the Bulldog takes out the final, and just like that, the second round, the same way Hidden did on the previous map.
Well, that shouldn't happen. Ridiculous martial shots from Dorsha. Now, with the DPs just one orb away from picking up the Blade Storm. So could potentially, you know, play for an orb, drop the Bulldog to a teammate, and then play for the Blade Storm in round number 3. Certainly would be an interesting way of dealing with it, and instead it seems like they're just opting to go for a regular half buy, bring out the Blade Storm maybe in round number 4 to try and get the advantage back. As for Hidden Leaf, they've got the guns, they finally have that buy.
Where are you?
And again, they're looking towards A, but it's a bit of a slower showing this time around. It means that Dorsha can push up and get the spot onto Mitchell.
4 players in showers might be one of the craziest things spotted in the big 2025. Jay looking to peek out, not going to find much succession, checking both right, left. When you're crossing the street, you get across Deuce, and that's going to be a run over quite on quickly. Plan going down in an instant, and even though trying to hide your presence, it's not going to be working the best as Artisans are getting taken out one by one like dominoes. They fell. Hidden Leaf starting to retaliate for the previous mistakes they were not too happy about, and as the Sheriff looks to deal some damage, it's mostly the Pact that it's a 5v2, which is definitely going to be improbable and maybe even impossible to win against, with a following continuation. Hida there, wasted double, and now it's spelling trouble for the side of Artisans.
Yeah, flawless round coming through there from Hidden Leaf, but they had a pretty significant economic advantage inside of that one. And now we see the Blade Storm coming in use from Dorsha, just a shorty being bought up, alongside the rest of the weapons, the rest of the rifles being bought by his teammates. Right now, again,
No prisoners.
Hidden Leaf, a majority of the stack towards that A side, but the spike over towards B on the lurk. And again, they're taking things slowly. The gunfights go their way inside of showers. Might make the Mitri think twice about aggressing forwards through B with this spike. Either way, the fake has been sold. Artisans, all 3 players rotating to A.
Rotate from both sides. Although for Artisans, even though they seem to have picked the wrong of the 2 routes, 1 player alone, energy going to be enough to carry on this detail. We see the Brimstone, none other than Sari, coming around trying to be thankful for the opportunity, but it's still going to be 2 against 5 on B alone, and we're going to need every piece of strength even MLZ can offer on B, because this is a fully one-sided push. All 5 players lined up nicely, ready to have it be a cha-cha run on and get themselves those kills as easy as they get the entry. But look at the side of Sorry, they're rotating halfway through, and now it's only going to be 1, and only Energy sticking on side alone, quickly taken out as if it were mere child's play. The first to be dropped, Sorry go for Z. In the meanwhile, smoked out completely, time being wasted, and just like that, no players lost from the side of Hidden Leaf.
Yeah, 5 on 2 that they find themselves in. You'd think it's certainly unwinnable for the other side. Artisans, it's an uphill battle to try and retake here into the B site. What to do with Wasted, first of all, is Sorry. Tries to push on out from elbow. Again, that's time. It's too low now for the defuse. It's an opportunity maybe to try and save the rifles. They won't even be granted that, as it's another flawless round coming through for the side of Hidden Leaf. So they get their second round on the board to tie up the game.
Yeah, that's going to be rough here. From the side of Artisans, they were not able to necessarily read the side of Hidden Leaf. They kept on guessing. Will it be A? Will it be B? Is it a fake or a double back? Not necessarily sure. And just like that, Hidden Leaf caught the lone player completely stuck up in container, took him out with a swift attack, shut out whatever opposing forces were meant to slowly start incoming into the site itself. And with it, like you said, it was flawless. It was well played out and perpetrated right on the spot as meant to. But now this time around, Artisans, they're still going for a bit of a half-buy beside Dorsha, who decides to spend all their funds on the operator.
Honestly, I respect it. You're playing the Jets. You had the money from the Bladestorm in the previous round to sort of take away from that. So you can afford this, and it could be just the trick up the sleeve that Artisans need to get another round on the board. So as I look over to my other monitor and I see PuffoBob laying down on the couch.
Okay. No, I'm not slacking on the job.
That's crazy behavior, honestly.
That's all gaslighting, ladies and gentlemen. I would never lay down on the job.
Not.
That's not me.
Definitely
not me. For a matter of fact, I see Charlotte right now doing a triple backflip while casting, and
yeah,
honestly, as it is impressive, it's lacking on the job, and we need to calm it down there, because aggression's about to get hot, it's about to get heavy, and MLZ, Deuce, that's going to be 2, Wasted returns it for 1, but Value not going to be looking the greatest, and with the current economy that we've been seeing from the side of Hidden Leaf, it should be heading their way for a moment. It does, just to barely keep themselves on equal terms, and although barely hanging on by the bare skin of their teeth, I wouldn't consider that the best of openers here.
No, a 3-on-3. Oh, the gun barrel being spotted. And allows the wallbang to come on through those Radianite boxes. Not really made of stern stuff. Annihilation, though, to come on out and does get the catch onto 1. So an effective 2 versus 2 now. I'm retaking with the Operator. It's a difficult weapon to try and wrangle in the situation, especially when you whiff with it. So now these players left standing, but Mitri mows them down.
Oh my goodness. That was, again, just kept on switching, passing the ball. Who wants to shoot and score? Who wants to miss and whiff? We saw the Op go for an opportunity there. The Viper came out with their life still intact, came out with a kill nonetheless, and even in a 1v2, it ended up going to the side of none other than Hidden Leaf, which I imagine was thanks to the pressure of the spike. Clock was ticking, time was running out, and as Hidden Leaf now take a timeout, they realized how close that was and how close it shouldn't have been, because, again, they had such a privilege of having not only the top-tier guns, but at the same time, they came in strong. But still, Artisans managed to overtop them in most situations.
Chilling things out a little bit. I'm surprised that it's a Hidden Leaf timeout.
I think they really want to talk about how that almost went against them. It was another thing. Again, I didn't expect it to go so wrongly. The fact that Artisans out of nowhere picked him off, caught him by surprise, got the double cheeky, and just like that converted into a 1v3, or rather a 2v3-ish situation. If that Jet which, yes, Dorsham pointing at Dorsham. My finger is being pointed directly to that name. Did not miss that op shot. Conclusion could have been completely different. But a single whiff can determine the round result. And, well, we just saw it on action.
He absolutely did. Artisans got to be feeling good about themselves after the previous round, and honestly forcing the timeout from Hidden Leaf gives them an opportunity themselves to sort of talk about what's been going wrong. So they haven't been able to find any of these rifle rounds just yet. Showstopper comes on out, and Dorcha just cannot escape. The trade on out, but it's wasted to find a kill to keep the advantage firmly in the grasp of Hidden Leaf. Attack inside, still finding success. They double down on it with MLZ and Hitter as well. Now 1-on-4 for Energy.
Can they handle it? Certainly not. Certainly not. Hitter there. Neon or not, still can't swing in fast. And it seems like the timeout worked. It didn't end up coming to a 2v1 favoring the side of Artisans, although we did see Hidden Leaf win it in the prior round before the one we just witnessed. We still have to keep in mind that they definitely had priority and a whole lot better of a chance, although this time around they took it strong, they went in according to the plan, and they came out with most of their players still intact. I think there was one loss of a player, maybe even 0, but overall, it was as close as it gets. Thumbs up for them. They still keep this 2-round lead and continue with a really good path towards victory.
Yeah, they absolutely do. It's going well for them. Dorcha, though, could be in serious trouble. But hang on a moment! Because MLZ's found a triple kill. The Empress popped by Deus to try and find something and does get a kill. Just like that, Artisan massacre Hidden Leaf inside a bee fountain.
How that happened, I'm not too sure. I mean, the side of Artisans, they didn't even give him a step in the right directions. The second Hidden Leaf showed their faces, they were stripped right off of them themselves. And that's a really good round here from the side of Artisans. There's no debate contemplating if it's good or not. Shh. Didn't happen. English difficult. But for the side of Hidden Leaf, it's spelling bad news, and now they need to come up with a tactic better than throwing a random orbital strike on a position you might not know about.
Yeah, they tried to clear out lamps with the orbital strike, but sending Jay in to clear out that close area of the site, well, it certainly didn't work. And Wasted's been felled as well. It forces the dip away from Lib. The Brimstone with the spike might win the foot race here to the B site. Dorcha, just can't quite land the shots. So will be control in the hands of the attack. Hidden Leaf should be able to get the spike planted as well, but save for that orbital strike, which is 1 tick of damage, is able to do the job. Mitri, surrounded on all sides, is just not able to stand up to the task. And just like that, Artisans have tied up the game.
You know what they say, eye for an eye and an orbital strike for an orbital strike. While the one of them didn't end up receiving a kill, the other one seemed like a bit of a necessity, as that kill for the Brimstone onto the side of Hidden Leaf definitely altered how the final player was to keep themselves alive. And now Artisans have caught up for the 4, like you mentioned, and it's starting to get as tight as it did on the previous map. That being Corrode, we ended up with a 7-5 split that ended up also favoring the side of Artisans. Now, if we can get the same split and then continue with that type of performance onto the second half, then we're talking. But with how the side of Hidden Leaf have dealt with that situation earlier, I imagine they're looking to do just about the same.
Indeed, and again, it's that early A showing from Hidden Leaf.
Thorns are alive.
Not much of a default over towards B, and, well, maybe you'd think they should have one. Deus is already up in Fountain, and as the 2 kills come on through for Artisans, means Hidden Leaf yet again on the back foot, a 3-on-5. And they've not really got any control to work with either, because Deus has been able to come all the way round through mid, but could find himself just getting overlapped there as The attackers instead decide to rotate through cave, which Deus should by now be realizing as that's weird. There's nobody in A lobby whatsoever.
What changed, Hidden Leaf, as now you're being taken apart one by one? No tree for following victim, and Artisans keeping a lockdown on the final two. There comes one shot with the op. We've seen it before, but while though it wasn't handled by Dorsha, that just might be better. The TP there for a saving grace keeps their spike on deck and looking to follow through the gate, but he's waiting, misses the shot, dashes out of Agent's way, but there's plenty of bullets in the magazine for wasted to have you taken out. 5 seconds remaining, wants to keep the Vandal, but matters not, as Artisans have now overtaken, and even then MLZ comes in for business just in the final moment, takes him out anyways. And I'm being worried here for the side of Hidden Leaf.
Well, that was rather silly, wasn't it?
Anyone feeling generous?
That just happened.
Yeah, that was certainly one of the rounds of all time. Artisans, though, they found a bit of a response to Hidden Leaf, answering their 4-round streak with 3 in return. And despite the loss bonus still propping up the attack for now, you'd think that if they lose this one, they're going to have to find themselves an eco. So, dangerous times ahead. Dutcher still sticking with this operator. So Nightfall comes on in. Again, it's that early B push coming through from Hidden Leaf, and the Viper's Pit to just secure themselves the site and the plant here.
Absolutely. It's going down. Spike can't be stopped. Inevitable, it seems like, and planted, so it does. Quickly after, it seems like the side of Artisans are seeming to be in a bit of a confusion rather. They can't necessarily get an entry here and simply wanted to wait it out, possibly change some unfortunate events from the side of Hidden Leaf. The shorty comes on by, strikes twice. Jay there gonna find a kill, tries to ricochet him off the wall and gets a double to follow up with it. Although Artisans have been clearing care of business, they get trades back to back, and these brick by brick shots have been leading down to this final 1v1, which Hida can clear with a triple, relying on one player who can definitely carry that cape, but not something I'd consider the best team play.
Yeah, for sure. Hitter though, is still him. So
Still him.
that's good to know. It hasn't really changed from Corrode, and despite the lack of the duelist pick, is still putting in the work. Like you said, Bob, a triple kill to win that round for Hidden Leaf, and brings them level. Still plenty in the coffers for Artisans. Deus decides to pop the Empress here. Hiding from the Horn. Does get marked, so is forced to back away from that position. B main control. They're in the hands of the attack.
My territory, my roof.
Oh, you want to be careful here, as it seems like not only the Empress has been popped, but many heads in the process. And look at Dorsha, just sticking around, waiting to find out. Gets one as well with the thanks of Sherazari. It seems like it's all going downhill, but the spike being planted and stuck in a 1v2 finalizes the shot. That's where Dorsha's comes in for the saving grace. 6 for the side of Artisans, and now looking to get that 7-5 scoreline yet again in the first half. What's happening, Hidden Leaf? How did we let it slip on by?
Last round in the
Yeah, another rough round, and I'm looking to see what the buy looks like here for
feeling generous?
Hidden Leaf.
Thank you.
It's not pretty, that's for sure. Guardian, a Bulldog, a Bucky for Jay. And on the other side, economy flourishing. Artisans, full shield, full rifles. You'd imagine full util as well. They're certainly looking pretty, and a Steel Garden could really put the spanner in the works for this Hidden Leaf attack. We'll have to wait and see, Bob.
Oh, it's going to be scary here for the side of Jay. Now, as much as the anticipation to get that right click on going, Story might be there to shut it down. We also saw with the help of energy, they get backed off quite quickly, find themselves the comfort zone. The dagger shoots on one. Jay, though, is going to be popping some heads in the meanwhile as the Bucky swings on twice. And just like that, 12 gauge going to be served on a silver platter for the side of Artisans. As now Hidden Leaf not so hidden anymore, exposing their true nature and coming out with a possible thrifty, also allowing Jay to pick up a Vandal. It's getting dangerous as Artisans are slowly, but really slowly, starting to actually approach the destruction.
Yeah, the spike has been ticking away all of this time. It's a dry face in towards Lamps. There's the first pick, the second as well for Wasted. And now MLZ left in a 1-on-3 situation. Hidden Leaf, you said they're showing their true colors here, and it's looking like it's a vine of Poison Ivy that's being the ones to take down Artisans with a 6-6 even half. Round 12 goes their way.
Now, for those watching, you may not be able to see it, but every time Charlotte gets really excited about a play, hops up to the camera, so it's a bit of a whack-a-caster situation I'm getting to witness here. And phenomenal to see, like we mentioned, 12, 6-6. Even split,
Yeah.
Keep it nice and tight between the teams. But for the side of Artisans, I imagine they wanted a bit of an upper hand, and allowing the double Bucky from Jay is just sinful. How? It's
Wild.
that is crazy.
Yeah, I have to start doing play-by-play instead of color, and I stand
You
up.
hop up?
Hop up, yeah. You gotta standing up's really great for play-by-play casting. Tip for yous at home: standing up's great because you get to open up your lungs. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
As is my co-caster PuffoBob, who's going to deliver this excellent commentary.
Commentary incoming. Spoilers ahead. Artisans here have taken it as a diversion, although Hidden Leaf are not going to be backing off of a good fight like they never have. Do stalled out for a moment. Deadlock really not being appreciated, and Miltree does not appreciate energy. Look at this, slow it down. That's going to be the opening here from the side of Hidden, as yet again, they're starting off to a great beginning.
Yeah, the opening pick again for Hidden Leaf. They're pushing the way on through.
There.
Artisans slowly encroaching on this site and baiting Hitter into the swing. Not expecting 3 players to be in the way. And the clearing of the Shower's position from Wasted means that Hidden Leaf is taking the control away from this Artisan side. And again, it's the triple face from Hidden Leaf, making sure that none of those kills go the way, or at the very least, it's tucked away to 1. Artisans find a response, though. Shursori from short. So again, 3-on-3 situation, something we've seen so many times between these two squads. Haunt being thrown out, it's a bit of a distraction, and Deuce can capitalize. But again, the trade, the response, these teams, they're tied at the hip. Lib with the first tap on the spike, they're getting the spot. Deus with 1, and Shursori as well. Artisans regain the lead, and it's their second pistol here on this map.
That was truly phenomenal from the side of Artisans. On the side of Hidden Leaf, I can't necessarily say so. Again, they started off with first blood, but not being able to continue it really hurt them quite so. And well, I mean, we saw it. The timeout here is going to be coming out from Hidden Leaf. The first round. The first round after the second half is definitely interesting, or in the second half rather. And again, they don't like something, they're going to act upon it instantly.
That's so early. I don't know if I like that to an extent, to be honest with you, Bob, because you've got nothing to go on.
I agree, but I think they're trying. I've seen this on Corrode as well from them. I think once they realize that even if they win or lose a round, if they see like major mistakes in their teamwork, they're instantly going to call a timeout to get themselves back in order.
Yeah, the only way this timeout makes sense to me is if there's been a complete breakdown in the comms, that the coach has been like, we need to get this ironed out immediately. Otherwise, I mean, again, you've got nothing to go on there with just a pistol round. And that's both of their timeouts used for this map as well. If things keep getting away from them, the coach is not going to be able to have any input whatsoever. It's just on it's just on the players themselves to talk things out in the prep phases of these rounds. So it's certainly a risky maneuver and one they're going to be banking on to avoid having to play Lotus today and instead getting a clean 2-0 victory.
Let's see it. Will this timeout bring any difference here? It seems the aggression definitely going to be befitting. Pistols do back off for a moment, don't necessarily want to challenge and bring around any bad news, but fantastic with the cluster working together. Could have been dangerous for MLZ, gets their HP back just in the moment that's needed, and A is going to be full commit. We have not seen the side of Artisans touch the likes of B just yet, and they're going to be looking to stick to it, because if it works, keep it going.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Plant now coming in on the site. Hitter forced into some action, but straight through the smoke and punished for it. Cut down there in the moment. Dorcha with one. It's just a complete collapse onto these defensive players as Artisans cementing themselves in the follow-up round here of this half. Mitri will maybe even only get a consolation, but not even that. Flawless round for Artisans and a 2-round lead.
2-round lead. This is certainly looking a lot better, because last time it took about 6 rounds in a row or something like it from the side of Hidden Leaf for Artisans to actually return one in the second half. And this is definitely going to be looking in the better direction if you want to bring it to Lotus, if you want to have yourselves that decider. And I imagine Hidden Leaf don't really care if they lose this map. They prefer to win it because they don't want to take their chances on a 3-sided map, which is not what we've seen up until now. Although, as time goes on by, they're going to be able to back themselves up with better guns, better opportunities, and a slide in here definitely not expected, but neither is Jay as he takes out 2-3! Completely wiped in the showers, are drooling with blood.
Well, it's a complete bloodbath, I think it's fair to say. And, well, should be the nail in the coffin for this round at the very least. Deus and Energy have been good, and they're going to have to be absolutely superb if Artisans want to get their 3rd round of this half. Just have to wait and see whether they can. And again, the information should be known here. The player inside the teleporter, up close and personal Mitri. Again, reading things well, and as the smoke dissipates and fades, this creates that little bit of a visual barrier as the players dip themselves away. They're not wanting to get caught in the open, because as soon as you try and take the fight, that's what happens. Jay collects on the triple, and Hidden Leaf, you find another round there, Bob. Now just 1 behind.
1 behind. Now, we've said this many times, but the second Hidden Leaf managed to get themselves over that 8-point and overtake the enemy's lead. That's when we could see a bit of a game changer. Although, as of current, going into the following, we do see some ults from both sides. Now, one of them is going to be the Orbital Strike from Shirsari, and of course, the showstopper from none other than Jay. Also coming out rightfully with that Quad K to make a difference and get themselves back on the lead, jumping there quickly from Miltree to try and see where the current push might be coming from, and I think this is going to be more than enough to let them know.
Yeah, you'd certainly like to think so. But again, they're holding back for now, Artisans. They don't want to give up the ghost just yet, but there's a re-exploration from Jay and Hitter up through showers. They're going to be getting all of this information. They know that it's not an A hit anymore. The 2-man flank could certainly punish if the players on the site aren't punished first. An Orbital Strike comes on through, and there's a spam through the smoke. Mitri caught out an elbow, and it's just the one player left behind, wasted. Again, taking the spam damage. And Hitter caught with knife in hand. Jay at least is there to trade. It's a 2-on-4. Sorry. Or Hidden Leaf. Make it a 1-on-4. It's a low HP player. Backside is cut down.
Cut down like it. the side of Artisans aren't going to be allowing it to continue down to how it did on the side of Corrode, so now making a bit of changes, now starting to compromise with better results and answers alike. We do get to see, yet again, back to what it's been kind of leaning in for the entirety of this map. I don't think the distance on the round count has been too vast between the two. It's always been around the 2-3 max at mark, and currently, unless we get a change here for the side of Artisans by either them overtaking and going to town, or of course the vice versa from the side of Hidden Leaf like they did prior, you know, I think it's going to be staying at this type of Midwestern standoff.
Yeah. But, like I said, for Hidden Leaf, they're going to need a thrifty win here if they want to stop Artisans running away with things. And, well, it's not a great start for them with Hitter falling there outside of showers. Energy, oh, it's a little bit labored, but still gets the double kill inside of Hookah.
Enemy remaining.
A 1-on-5 for Wasted. I mean, the Outlaw is a decent weapon. You've got a couple players that don't have armor, but it feels an unlikely clutch.
Planted.
It feels very unlikely. As much as I don't want to bring down Hidden Leaf, it's 1 against 5. It's odds against odds piled upon each other, layered down against this stack that are currently hunting you down, and definitely you can get out some greed kills, possibly just tertiary objectives, but with the time remaining, your only objective here should be trying to keep this outlaw for the next following round. And of course, how you're going to do it is completely up to you, but Wasted starts off nice. That's going to be 2 bullets in the chamber, both of them Wasted, forcing up to Classic, does have the protection from boxes, and meaning the reload comes in nicely, but the damage definitely going to be fatal. Sure sorry there, puts him down. Double digits caught up by the side of Artisans, and a 10-7. This is what we saw on Corrode, but with, of course, the teams reversed.
Wasted, though, has at least gotten something from that with the 1 kill and the death. An Ultimate Online, the Annihilation available to be utilized here in round number 18. We'll have to keep an eye on that, the Showstopper as well. Plenty to use, and on the other side, it's only really Deus's Empress. I guess 1 away from the Steel Garden. But I think Hidden Leaf, they have the advantage here as, yeah, the Empress is used straight away. There's not really any reason not to do so.
No reason indeed. It's coming down to the final few here, and as we're slowly starting to close in, no casualties, no names to be dropped, kills not administered just yet, and as that's willing to happen, they're trying to delay the inevitable by so much. The side of Hidden Leaf, they're smoking it out. We do see some of these players being extremely close by each other, but until the first kill happens and people start seeking out for refrags and trades alike, I don't think we're going to be having our first contestant just yet. Gonna have to wait a moment. Does the showstopper show itself? Maybe even the annihilation along it. That's up to Hidden Leaf. If they want to get themselves back up on their feet, it's definitely going to be a good starting point. But speaking about the starting point, we still have 40 seconds and no one's yet made a move.
Yeah, heading back to the A site here. They're going into the stack, into the Sentinel utility. Wasted.
30 seconds left.
Certainly seems primed to be in a good position for this. Jay as well could use this Showstopper to good use. There's the Annihilation. Sure, sorry, in danger, but is able to come out of it just in time. The spam through the smoke is good for 1. That's a trade on to MLZ, but the spike skill gets planted. It kills for Hidden Leaf. That's what's important for now. These last 2 players, they're isolated, stuck in showers. It becomes a prison for them. And Hidden Leaf, with 4 players left alive, get their 8th round on the board. And again, in lockstep behind Artisans.
Better late than never, I guess, is what truly Hidden Leaf here are going to be working with. It took a moment to get back up on that 2-round deficit, but as it currently stands, they're going to need to still long climb unless they want to convert it to 3, and with each mistake that the side of Hidden Leaf are going to be committing to, we can definitely see that it's closing into match point. 2 more rounds away from it, and well, it's rather going to be match point, confirming also with a victory within regulation if we can connect it to a 3rd here for none other than Artisans. Hidden Leaf on the other hand, are looking to deny it as much as they can, and ults are slowly going to start stockpiling together as this smoke might just be the Hall of Mirrors, Mirrors of Death, and wow, an exchange here going out between the two.
Oh, and a couple of these Artisan players too. So low on HP. Dorcha, they're on just 3 health. In a rough spot. So, despite a 4-on-4 situation, Hidden Leaf have the advantage here, and there's a double face out through the Viper wall. Very nicely done. The teamwork now firing on full cylinders as they have the player advantage. And you've still got these 2 low health players with just 15 points of HP between them for the side of Artisans.
It's getting close. Do we want to commit to it just right now, Artisans? We're at a lack of players, and they're fully stacked with HP, while 2 of you aren't going to be able to back themselves up in gunfights too well. Comes out for a lure, gonna notify them that someone's still close. And a second one to distract, but it's not really showing much value. They're just dumping utility for the sake of it. Until the first step is going to be made, it's going to be difficult. Now they finally start getting around it. The showstopper's still committed. Even after taking out Jay, it comes on through, confirms onto a kill. So a trade nonetheless as wasted with a late entry. Joining along the side of Hida. And like that, all 3 players congoing up to a single line made by the side of MLZ to be covered. Fantastic fade on, tries to spray, won't work the best as 1 remains, and energy will be shut down, turned off. And Hidden Leaf now only 1 round behind.
It's such a nice triple swing again from Hidden Leaf. They're doing so well in that round specifically, but I feel like, again, I said with the teamwork is really coming alive for them, and they take that moment just to regroup a little bit and take that triple swing out through from CT. I mean, they could have lined up. They had just the right spacing to not let themselves get sprayed down, not let themselves get collated. They find the confirmation on the final 2 kills. And again, that gap ever shrinking. Now just 1 round between these sides. The barrier mesh straight away to deny the push, at least for now. The orbital strike into lamps now effectively nullified by the cancellation of that push, but these players still rushing in.
Ooh, 1 returned as well, and of course the Nightfall comboed up with it, but look how well it did. It allowed Lib to isolate 1, burn on the second, spots him out, gonna back off just for a moment. The Prowler gonna chase right after him, but not a loss of life until Jay is gonna make a step. MLZ takes another right after to step on his own. 3 against 4 here. We find ourselves in a similar situation like we did earlier, but it's Hida that's making the change. That only 2 remain here as they're completely discombobulated and with no direction to go in.
It's certainly been a match of the duelists so far for Hidden Leaf. On the first map, it was Hitter lighting up the show. This time Jay gets an important kill in that situation. Just slips the net a little bit. 22 and 15 on the scoreboard too. It means that the advantage truly lies with Hidden Leaf. They've got the high-low setup in lamps with Libum wasted. Player backside as well. Utility forces them off of that angle, but they're just getting felled by the guns instead. We're tied up again. It's 10 rounds apiece here, Bob. This one could be close, and Hidden Leaf, they've got all the momentum.
Thank God we get to see the side of Artisans finally take a timeout. It took a moment. I don't think I've been seeing it from them as much as I have from Hidden Leaf. And at the same time, I mean, this timeout is going to be doing due diligence. They've caught up quite nicely, and you're starting to feel that threat slowly kick in. It's a real fear factor without a doubt. We need to have it chat through what's going wrong. Why are these openings so difficult to maintain on our side? And what do Hidden Leaf truly hide when it comes to their, I guess you could say, victorious lead that they're slowly starting to creep upon. And I mean, from the previous round, we saw it. Hidden Leaf, they get themselves into these once positions. Like we saw the Brimstone. From the side of Hidden Leaf, isolated 2 players, took out 1 by himself, backed off, and allowed Jay to slowly snoop in and get a 1v1 position. And just like that, 2 players are gone like nothing, which of course is all allowed by Artisans.
Yeah, they can't let these situations keep happening, so the timeout, like you said, it makes sense. It's good to see. Because right now, it looks like they're potentially still able to get some sort of a buy going on. Dortch has got a Blade Storm, which will be helpful to alleviate some of the economic pressures there.
Keep up.
Couple Guardians, couple Phantoms as well. So Artisans, they absolutely do have a purchase, but they are on their last legs in terms of that regard. And again, it feels like they just don't quite have the same read on the meta. Oh, Gravnet nade is so nice. The counter spam through onto the Alt Orb. Just a little bit misplaced. Doesn't find purchase. So in the end, it's a positive exchange there for Hidden Leaf.
They've done this combination a few times in the past, and it doesn't seem like Artisans have learned their mistake. Although it hasn't necessarily dealt more than a slap on the wrist for one of these players, that being a couple ticks of HP, which could come in quite important later on. But where's the P pushes? Why are we not starting out with those? We really want to commit to A, and sure, sorry, that's a good step right in the direction. Taking out Hitta, fantastic beginning. Can we keep it up? That's a question for another day.
Well, thankfully, that other day is also today. There's only 40 seconds left in the round. Artisans, they need to get a bit of a wiggle on. Energy is on the lurk in through B. Might be able to catch out Mitri, who hasn't really had much to do or say as of recent, as the rest of Hidden Leaf have been the ones to really take these kills. As for Artisans, I was going to say they're waiting for about maybe this 20-second mark, as indeed the timing that they choose to go for the push and the swing. Jay tries to go ahead of it and doesn't fall. The Cloudburst dropping as well as everyone from Artisans. Chipping in with picks of their own. And Lib is left 1 on 5. It would be one hell of a clutch. And now just 10 HP. It certainly seems impossible, seems improbable. And the Blade Storm is there for Artisans to regain their lead.
Could have went for the stim beacon, but at that point it's 1v5, it's 10 HP. Let's be honest, we're not going to sugarcoat it. How the hell is anyone supposed to win it? 10 to 11, it seems like Artisans are finally stepping in for themselves, but this is a possible opportunity for us to actually see overtime between the two teams. But again, they've been keeping it so tight and close when it comes down to differentials that Artisans, even though they currently have a bit of a lead, it doesn't mean that Hidden Leaf are going to be backing down. They still get themselves a decent buy. They still have everything to back themselves up for a couple, or at least this, if not nothing else, which makes it even that more pointed. Hidden Leaf, if you lose this one, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, and currently you're abandoning the A site to try and play aggressive on B, which is not the best of ideals.
Yeah, they send the Gravnet in through the teleporter to try and slow down the push through showers, and well, it maybe appears to have worked for now. A little bit of a pause in the breakthrough from Artisans. That means that Hidden Leaf can set themselves up a little bit here. The double face, but it doesn't work out. Deus just gets the 2 kills. And Dorcha as well. It leaves Lib and Hitter 2 versus 5. Yet again struggling here on the A site. It's a 1 on 5, not for Lib, but for Hitter. 2 rounds in a row. Hidden Leaf has just failed to get anything going. Deus wants more from this. You can see it's pushing through to defend the spawn, and well, they are just 1 kill away from that next ultimate orb. Even dying here would give it to them, but you'd rather finish it off with the pick. That's 3 in the round for the Reina as Artisans got up to map point.
That is interesting. And now Hidden Leaf, unless we see a natural D20 of a Thrifty, I'm going to say we're already waiting for Lotus to come on by and save us for a decider here. I mean, it was phenomenal. We've been seeing Artisans really taking it into their own hands. Some of these gunfights, it seems like they're just playing against the bronze lobby, and now that's not to downplay Hidden Leaf. They've been still playing well, they've been still trying their best, but Artisans seem to outmatch them in every aspect, and I don't know where this has been hidden, but the overtime, or not the overtime, the technical timeout really did make a change here, and well, what better way to showcase it than Dorcha on the Odin?
And potentially this is somewhere where you'd think Hidden Leaf, they might have wanted to save their timeout from the first kill and a half. That's a nice swing, though, using the haunt to distract away from the aim. Hitter picks up the first, trades out the teammate too. Jay's sacrifice, hopefully for them, will not be in vain. It's a 4 versus 3 for the defense, but again, the guns are not in their favor.
Now, Energy's usage here of the Vise will be a fantastic way to counter the flank, hopefully, if positioned correctly. But it should be more than obvious that it's going to be focused towards A. It always has been, it always will be. And right now, it's still possible for Hidden Leaf to bring us into overtime. Dortch are going to go showers as it can be one-dimensional. You definitely don't want to extend off of that one angle alone. And it seems like that's the only angle they tend to go for here. Wasted could definitely change the course of this by using Annihilation. And we also have the ultimate, the Steel Garden, ready to change it about. But the shorty on Hida, oh, never underestimate that because that's never gone wrong. Annihilation right there. Taking out one. Dortch are trying to support their teammate, but not working out in their best favor. Although Energy shutting two down. Heads are rolling off of their shoulders. The plant is going down. And the last two are on a flank. What an unfortunate turn of events, as they might just be a bit late to the party. With the Odin, what are we witnessing? Unexpected, but takes him out anyways. Looking to flame things up, but can we try and fight against him? Certainly not, as Mitri there. Final nail in the coffin, 11-12, and I am starstruck.
It's going to require all 24 here, Bob, to decide whether it's a 2-0 victory for Hidden Leaf or whether we end up going to Lotus. And again, even if Hidden Leaf win this round, it's not yet decided. We head into overtime. Certainly, I think this map would deserve it. It's been so back and forth for these sides, and I mean, it's just been so much action. The only thing that I've been pointing out, that I would be pointing out for Hidden Leaf, is that you've got only one player with a positive KD, and quite often those little facts can be the difference maker. Looking to see a standout performance, not just from Jay, but from the other members of the roster to step up and get HL over the line here. As for Artisans, slow default, poking, prodding, Prowler in through showers just to try and get that information. And the spike looking like it's maybe ready for a B push, which is the weaker site right now. You've just got the one player of Hitter over on that side.
That it is. Picking it up, finally deciding to go B. Is that going to be the final decision, though? We've seen a lot of turnarounds, possible switch-ups, but not this time. Sure, sorry, looking to confidently pick it up and go B for the final, for the possible final within regulation. If they manage to clutch this out, Artisans, they're going to be locking down Lotus, and Hidden Leaf have now exhausted themselves on the second map, trying to win it as much as they can, but the ult's here from the side of Artisans. Not only do we have the orbital strike, but we also have the hidden garden. Little do we notice that head is around the corner, but why pull them out? Just like that, sure, sorry, punishes the mistake of Hida for turning their back to their enemy. Eye to blind, plant going down, and just like that, it will be a brutal battle.
4 versus 4 post-plant, and Hidden Leaf, like you said, a bit late to the party here. They're expecting just a late A push like we've seen a couple of times before. Sorry, oh, good for a second, but not quite landing the third shot. So it's still advantage for Hidden Leaf, but Dortch has this operator caught by the graph net. It's going to be the Steel Garden ripped out. Wasted, not quite caught in its grasp, though. And overtime it will be, because Lib with the Odin shuts things down. 24 rounds, regulation time wasn't enough here, Bob.
Should have just stuck to A, huh? It doesn't seem like Artisans are going to be too happy with it. I mean, the Steel Garden should have been popped instantly. I feel like it should have been used way earlier. Not also, but at the same time, Hidden Leaf, I mean, they played that perfectly, if you ask me. That was a really good result from them. They well coordinated with their utility. Now for Hit, I'm not going to be too confident about that because the timing certainly wasn't there, but the opening caught him off guard, and of course it confirmed Hidden Leaf for their entry to be as imminent as it can be. The defense was steady, it was required, so they did it, and right on point they got it 12-12, as now it is officially time for overtime.
That it is. Hidden Leaf, it's been a while since we've seen them on this attacking side. But it was an even 6-6 half then. An even 6-6 in the half after that as well. So right now, 50% win rate for both the attack and the defense. The only thing that we have to go on is these rounds themselves. Energy is the one to face them all and gets a double kill with it. The Phantom putting in work. They just completely shut down that push from Hidden Leaf. So they find themselves in a 3 versus 4.
Rough. Really rough. They were upbringing themselves. I imagine hopes were not even close to being shattered, especially with this 12-12 confirmation. It may not be ended just yet. Well, you gotta confirm some rounds. And Miltree, that's gonna be a punish from Dorsha. Takes you out right in the moment, leaves it with 2. And can they really come out on top against these final Prowlers ready to bite down on you? Dorsha approaching, even with the Phantom being more confident than ever. Spots the barrel, shoots him on sight. Wasted takes out 1, but the second won't come through. As a triple for the Jet, 13 and 12. And it seems like Artisans can definitely still keep it in the lead.
Match point.
That they absolutely can. Artisans just playing all of the off angles there. Trying to catch Hidden Leaf off guard at every single turn. And by God, did it work. The final timeout coming through. And it's a Hidden Leaf timeout. Don't believe what's on your screens. You're being lied to. There we go. It's Hidden Leaf timeout. Using their final timeout here, and yeah, this is the time to use it, Bob, because you lose this round, we're heading to map 3, and you have to do it all over again. Who knows what will happen there?
It's not something you want to get stuck on now, is it, Hidden Leaf? Again, you've been putting so much effort, you've been putting so much energy into this one, and if it doesn't go your way, I imagine Artisans will be taking that for granted and stealing it over to Lotus as well, but that's, who's to say that that will be the result? Now, currently with the timeout, again, use whatever you can. Use all the utility, use all the guns, everything that's up for availability, make sure to put it into consideration because overtime matters a lot, and the 2-round difference is going to be there to make sure the hatchet is buried. As although it's not confirmed just yet, it seems like Hidden Leaf are a bit further away from their supposed victory because now they need to win 3 rounds in a row in order to win.
Yeah, or we could just get another round of OT after that point as well. Honestly, the possibilities are endless, and so too could be the overtimes. Although, of course, that means nothing if Artisans just win out here in a 14-12 fashion. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Again, for Artisans, they're playing things slowly. It looks like they're posturing themselves over towards a B hit. Now, it didn't work out this time, or the last time they tried it back in round 24. But similarly to that round, it's just the one player from Hidden Leaf on B. This time, Lib is the one that's going to have to face the music.
Face your fears. And don't be too afraid. Because the only thing that currently can go wrong for Artisans is if they give away too much headspace, too much ground to the side of Hidden Leaf. And that's certainly what they're doing. Trying to step into fire, not going to be the best, although Dorsha there with an opening, coming around for a second. Deuce helps out with the fragmentation, as that's the job of a true duelist. Now the Reyna might bring over a selfish kit, but if you can confirm it, then it matters not. Whoa. As all of a sudden only one more stands in their way. Wasted, the final stepping stone, fights back for 1. Deuce is taken out, but that's merely a side objective, as the spike is still ticking down. You're buried over by a smoke, and you are completely lost in the hallways. The death is imminent. Oh. Wasted brings some, but with the long range, his difficulties are shown, and energy takes him out. Just like that, we are going to be seeing Lotus. Overtime there was secured, but Hidden Leaf could not pull through. Also, I need to go back on the couch.
Okay. It's it's been nice having you up close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
How tall did you say you were earlier? 4'9"?
Dude, I'm like 3'2".
Oh wow, he keeps getting shorter. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a minion. I'm just waiting for my Gru to come around.
Haha, kumbaya, banana. Right. Okay.
How do you know the language? What?
What
He's
can I
been
say?
learning it.
What can I say? Anyway, what a map that was. Let's kind of
Yes.
lock in a little bit. Um, what a map that was. For Artisans, it got close, but they're able to just have that deciding factor in the end. I think just a slightly better read in terms of the macro game there. Again, hitting the weak sites more often than not, things like that. So, all in all, looking very, very good for them. But Lotus coming up next after this quick break, and we'll just let Bob have a quick nap on the couch while the rest of us grab a drink and get prepared for map number 3. You might notice it's just me. We're about to go live on air, and this PuffoBob guy kicks his PC and it explodes. That's not quite what happened. I don't know if we're able to see the last frame we have of Bob's cam, but he's kind of just like about to sit down, which is it's extremely comedic, no matter what. But it yeah, there we go. There he is. It's PuffoBob. So when he comes back, he comes back.
Our PCs.
In the meantime, oh, here he is, the man himself. We are live on air, by the way, and we're about to get PuffoBob back into the action to get ready for Lotus. And you know, you were saying, Bob, that you like the 3-site maps. This one is going to be interesting here on the Lotus, and the agent select is certainly quite something. As well, we've got an ISO on the board.
I go missing for 1 second and we have an ISO? How
Yeah,
did
you
it go
should have been
so
here.
wrong?
You should have been here, man. I'm sorry.
Hold up, I gotta get the camera back on because I don't know why, but the second we started, my PC just decided to end it. But I you know what? It's fine. We're going on Lotus. It's map number 3, and what that means, most importantly, is that it's a beast 3-sided map, which means there's gonna be cool action and even cooler plays. And with an ISO, I was expecting a Euro. I'll be completely honest. I would love to see a bit of Euro, and I need to get back to the PC because I'm completely far away again. But yeah, you know what? I'm liking the ISO pick. I really am.
Yeah, it's a nice pick, and again, we've got Hitter back on the duelist.
Here.
So this is going to be absolute cinema. That's mainly what I'm excited about. And again, it's the Reyna Jet coming through from Artisans, which, I'm going to be honest, shouldn't have worked on Bind. Just simply shouldn't. It's not really something that should. Jet, a little bit more favored here on Lotus, but I think people would still prefer taking a Raze here. And the Raze ISO is certainly a nicer combination. This double duelist matchup. And again, we're seeing the fades. Again, we're seeing the omens as well. We've got a Cypher and a Vice in the mix, so Energy has been sticking by this Vice, and that's a pick I really do like, because, well, for Hidden Leaf, the start of this round has been fairly slow, as now they finally pop into Rubble and find the opening pick.
Oh, but it's not just going to be the opening for them. It's going to be vice versa as well, as it seems like Hit is going to be making a change. But let's talk about MLZ, and let's talk about them no further, because now they're going to be Graveside, 3 against 2 here, and it seems like Energy alongside their Omen, their trusty companion here. We're just hoping to see what the side of Hidden Leaf are going to be able to accomplish, because of course they have the numbers advantage, and as they're closing it on site quite quickly, the retreat from the side of Artisans doesn't seem to be just as fast.
Yeah, and again, it's a pivot in through Mound, in towards B. Oh, sorry. Could be here to catch on it, but with the vital shots, and it leaves Energy in a 1-on-3 straight away. It's a difficult situation. That's an upgrade into a Ghost, and it's good to find the first, but just doesn't have the information on the rest of the locations of these players. So in the end, it's a pistol round going the way of Hidden Leaf. Working out well for them.
Working out quite well. And of course, this is going to be bringing it back to the tradition of Corona. But let's keep that in the past, as right now I want to focus up on these lineups, because they've been quite different. Now, a lot of teams want to stick to default comms, but that's boring. We love to see some Reyna, because that is a very selfish pick. But it's not a bad thing. Of course, if you can really back up that Reyna talk, it's good. Reyna is a strong character, can work off of kills very easily, and completely flip the tables when needed. What I am loving is not only the ISO, the Raze as well for double duelist, but the Cypher is a really just overall fantastic pick that I love seeing on any map. And talking about picks, Deuce is going to be getting his first.
Yeah, you were saying with Arena, you have to be able to walk the walk. And, well, in this round, it's certainly striding away already for Deus. But still possible for a comeback here from Hidden Leaf. They've got the weapons for this kind of situation. 2 Bulldogs, an Outlaw, a Guardian. All of those are going to be able to deal massive amounts of damage, and with the undercut that you think is about to come through as well onto this site, means they take even more damage per bullet. And Hidden Leaf, they get this space as Artisans. They can't really afford to contest it, sorry.
Spike
Instead, they
planted.
just have to give it away for the retake.
That they do. Not going to be a great beginning, especially considering this is going to be pistols. And there it comes Jay with a Bulldog. Finally, a bit of retaliation needed. The Outlaw not going to be something lawful, as it's absolute robbery from the side of Hidden Leaf. They're showing their true nature, and triple stacking upon it. It's a surprise that Deuce actually got out with one on this on the Scepter, but only the Guardian struck on back just as strong. And with the second round, and now seeing how the bonus is going to be responded to from the side of Artisans.
Yeah, they've got a decent buy from it as well. I'd imagine that MLZ is also going to purchase up a Vandal. Yeah, and indeed, we see that come on out. So, aside from just the one light armor, it's as full as the full buy can be here from Artisans' anti-bonus. Hidden Leaf, it would certainly be a task to get this one on the board. The Haunt being taken away early. They get a bit of information that there are people about, but nothing specific, and they haven't really been able to make any headway on this eastern side of the map.
You know, waiting for a head to pop on slowly. Nothing showcased just in the moment. But look at the push here. It doesn't seem like Hidden want to show their true push just yet. They're looking to lean in a bit more B-sided, go that middle route, maybe convert it as well. 4 players are already going to be stepped up close, and MLZ takes advantage of one. Do we get the second? Yes, we do! The third doesn't chain on it, but matters not, as Wasted puts it to an end. HP going to be a bit lower, and with the link, it's nicely connected. Get that gate open, and right over to C-side.
Arcrose does the blinding for them. Energy sends out the Razorvine, but it's quickly shut down. A 3-on-3 situation, but sorry, trying to fight on through, does get the first. Spike plant defended by Hitter there, and finally it comes on down, 300 credits into the next, and an even situation with the neural theft being utilized, but Deus lands those shots as smooth as silk, and Artisans get on the board.
They get themselves on the board. This is finally converting it from a donut to an Uno, and like it, the duo second possibly needed. Do we get to see the follow-up here from the side of Hidden Leaf? I imagine so, because they've been doing quite decent, and even these rounds have gotten out with possible results that could have converted differently if a small mistake was corrected upon. But we continue nonetheless. Let's digress and see how it's going to be going this time around. It's an interesting push if you want to commit most of your forces, most of your strength onto B and quickly switch it over, but the double kill from Hardy definitely blew him out of the competition.
Early on again. Okay, Dodge does get tagged by the Haunt there. There's information given to Hidden Leaf. Whether they're going to act on it is a different matter.
It's you and me.
Double tap being used, and in comes the grab for the ultimate as well. Oh, Deus was able to take the shield away.
Contract complete.
Not much past that. Just a little bit whiffy in terms of the shots, and Hidden Leaf, they've got the advantage that they want. Contingency coming through to allow that space, and they scale up well ahead of it. Plenty of real estate now for Hidden Leaf as they're looking to pivot into B.
Pivot into it. from earlier B to C. Now it's going to be A to B, seeming to switch their plans, and the second one really comes to fruition. Paranoia there, blind them all in half, and it seems like Energy going to be taking advantage of it. A second swing there, taps all around, but it seems like it's a bloodbath. Absolute Armageddon between the few. The pistol's not connecting, barely getting out with her life intact, and like at the op, yet again ready to reload, but it's these head taps that you want to be careful for, because Jay is unrelenting, decisive strike indeed. The boom pod gonna look to lock onto its target, second and infinite animation, bouncing back and forth, but time is running out. Two players looking to lock it down, and a pistol's gonna be more than enough to finish the job. Lip there, head tap for the final rub into that salt and kick a man while they're down. Third round here for the side of Hidden Leaf, as Artisans will be kept at a distance.
Yeah, they absolutely are. That was wild that Lip was able to find, I think, 2 kills with the Classic in that situation. Unbelievable stuff. And it makes sense that Artisans would want to put a stop to this with a tactical timeout. Momentum already flourishing for Hidden Leaf, and they want to keep it under wraps. Because if they can do that, if they can keep things close, and while we saw what happened on Bind, they're able to just edge things out. This time around, well, they want to do the same. Hidden Leaf, though, they're looking just a little different gravy here on this map. They maybe slightly annoyed by losing the previous, and well, you can see that there's the fire in their bellies.
I'd go for butterflies and bellies, but fire and bellies is the first, I'll be honest. Do people say that? Am I stupid?
That? Yes, but what's your question?
Do people say fire and bellies?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm learning new things as we're going.
Angry, you know?
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna write that down for a matter of fact.
Wow. Plagiarism in the Big 25, that's great.
The Big 25 and the big shots here from Jay. Oh no, it's all going downhill. What are we doing?
Wait, what?
What? At absolute cinema. 3 for 3. It's a trade on down. And 2 against 2. That's where we stuck about. The camera there for information. Let's take a look at it. The knife pulled out, and what did we just witness?
What's happening? What is happening?
How did this go so wrong and so right for both teams at the same time?
I really cannot give you an answer to that. Just a complete mayhem inside of B main. But now, in through tree, Hidden Leaf, they've got access to this site. Oh, Energy, that's the crucial shot you needed to land. Instead, it's the quick flick round to the side with the operator from Lib and Deus. Looking like they might instead just be saving this gun. Or at least finding a different avenue of attack. The rotate through spawn will take too long. Now just through Hobbit. And in towards the site. So many angles to clear. So many question marks in the mind of this Reyna. They're not even going to get past the first obstacle. It got scrappy. It got messy. But Hidden Leaf were just about able to stave off the eco round there from Artisans.
That was Chaos Incarnate. And really coming in with that. That was just shocking. I cannot explain it. 3 kills, but 2 players returned the same amount of damage to the side of Hidden Leaf. It's quite a shocking moment at the very least, to say the least. And from our reactions, I imagine a lot of players ended up gathering that themselves. But as we continue, Artisans are now 3 apart. It's starting to really reach into that danger zone because for the side of Hidden Leaf, not only are they on the attack, but as much as they want to keep themselves as close and comfortable, people are just lurking about trying to check corners. We have a kill from Deuce there. We're going to be pivoting none other than Artisans, and it's a great beginning, but consistency matters as well.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And that's Jay falling for the attack. Oh, the paranoia doesn't quite hit, doesn't matter. Deus, not nearsighted, but still taken down by Hitter, who finds the triple kill and continues their march on forwards. The walk of death in through the site is taken down by MLC. But it's only a momentary reprieve as Energy left 1 versus 3 to try and clutch up the round. It's a good start. Mitri falling, and they're expecting the drop on down. Wasted has fallen as well. It's now a 1 versus 1. Lib with the operator up close, still got him ripped, now has to go in towards that secondary weapon, and it's just a classic right click at close range, and it's going to seal the deal.
Oh god. Oh, Lib, you can't do it like that. Oh, the value from Artisans. I feel so bad for Energy. Everything wasted, put down on the line just to be stumbled, tripped again. And Hidden Leaf taking you out with a classic of all. That must hurt. Hidden Leaf are playing a completely new game here compared to what they've been showing on Corrode, what they've been showing on Bind. These are no longer close matchups, and I'm not one to caster curse it, but Artisans need to get their stuff together. They need to pull their act up. What?
I mean, that was just chaos. And again, it was a good start for Artisans.
Really?
And then Hitter finds 3 kills inside of a main and rubble. I mean, it just shouldn't be allowed to happen. Simply and truly. And yeah, a brilliant try from Energy there in the 1-on-3. And got it so damn close. Just not quite anticipating the position and the angle from Lib. And it goes the same way. Hidden Leaf with the round. And I just want to double check. That is both timeouts used by Artisans, right? They used it after round 4, I think. And they've now used it after round 6.
Wasn't that technical? Or was that tactical as well?
I think it was also attack pause. So that's both pauses used within 2 rounds of each other in the first half, in the first quarter of the game, basically. I mean, things must be going seriously wrong for them, and it's just continuing to go downhill as Deus pops the Empress and immediately gets shut down by Jay.
Oh god, these are red flags one after another, and as much as Artisans keep on fighting back, it's gonna be a double, that's gonna be required, triple from the side of Jet, and that's what a Jet does! Bringing it down. Rivers are flowing with blood, and MLC keeps it going! Earlier did the double, did it yet again, and it's spelling a little less troublesome here for the side of Artisans. Oh my goodness, Hidden Leaf though, on the other hand, had no opportunities. They started off great, but then Artisans came back. It seems like both these teams really have a bit of a religious concept that whoever starts great is the one that's is supposed to lose.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly feel that way. Because Jay got a brilliant opener to completely deny the impact and value being found by Deus and his ultimate. And then it's a full house from Artisans. Torture and MLC combining that. And, well, no time to really dwell on the past because it's a quick push in towards C. The shear is going to delay things just for a second, and Hitter is alone on the site, isolated from his team, and gets cut down. The punish comes in there, and the kill contract expended without even a catch as well. It's starting out costly here for the side of Hidden Leaf, but Mitri on the lurk in B has been able to find the one, and that's an opening. That's an avenue into a plant.
Oh, for a second there, I was getting a bit worried. My Beverly Hills were nicely tightened up for a moment, but that's now gone. And just like that, it seems the comeback is still very possible. We get ourselves into a thrifty, but up close they are much more dangerous than some may find. The aspect here, up close, double P, get one. A second doesn't follow because they don't need to push, but they do it either way. Giant Punishers, another 2 remain for Artisans, and unless they're going to be changing the tides, it's going to be the tides crashing down upon them. Shattered Hope's not yet shown. The fuse coming through, and Fakers are not popping, but the first one at 50 gets a trade-off, just leaving it down to a 1v1. It's a Vandal v Vandal. You pull out the pistol, you're punished for your actions. What gameplay we get to witness. Raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen, as this is absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema. I'm raising my hands right now. Bob can see it.
Yep, I can confirm. I can confirm.
Yeah, the hands are raised. And also, I'm just confused at what's going on at this point. It's...
How?
Yeah, that is often the question I find myself asking myself. The 6-2 lead now for Hidden Leaf is, again, dwell on the past. It's going to catch up to you. And Hidden Leaf, they're continuing with their momentum. Torches up close and personal, but caught out by Mitri, using the Prowler, cognizant of that possibility of the position. It just shouldn't be happening. And again, the previous round, the opening kill goes to Artisans. They all end up falling in the end. Jay, jumping past the sheer wall, has the showstopper to take all of the sight and the control. It's a good deterrent. Now the spike plant can come in. Sorry, caught out, still gets the kill onto Hitter. Just completely melts him even through the double tap. The 4 versus 3, make it a 3 versus 3. A straight through the wall, Mitri's been felled. This one's winnable for them, Bob.
It definitely is, and they keep on bringing it down with each step they take. It's going to be Scorched Earth coming on around, and the positions from the side of Hidden Leaf are going to be more than vital. Peeks out into the op, doesn't find the kill, but that's going to be wasted stepping in to change it up. A second shot, here it comes, attempted and executed. Finishing the job, Lib, no mercy. And just like that, we have secured ourselves a victory within the first half here. How much better can it truly get?
Bryce saying we. Blood thinks he's on the team, that's crazy.
Who do you think's coaching?
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah, while you're casting, I hop in the call, I give him some tips, and it's good.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to be working out. It seems to be working out. Okay. Let's be calm. Let's be chill. It's time for round number 10. And unfortunately, it is an eco round for Artisans. So this one, it seems unlikely that it's the one that they're going to be able to get on the board, but stranger things have happened. So we'll have to wait and see. And again, the opening kill in the previous seemed to be a little bit cursed. It required a 1 versus 2 clutch from Lib. He just had the positioning behind Mound to be able to take things down. Energy inside of the smoke here. Looking to pressure towards C main and Mound, but as the smoke dissipates and fades, the attack, they rotate away. Something spooked them, and they backed off.
Step back, give it a moment, a bit of space, a breather at the very least. But Hidden Leaf, do we realize the danger we're about to step into? The Empress as well? Do we pop it alongside the Sheriff? A single tap, we could continue. Gets the iframes, backs off with full health. And in the meanwhile, also a kill in the pocket can continue. Definitely brings in more attention. As just like that, Hidden Leaf, they fought off one. And just like that, they're going to be backing off the same way. But little do they know, there's going to be a bit of a track stopper here. MLZ coming in, spots one, takes some shots, brings them all down. And now with Artisans, 3 players above them. And a fantastic performance, 15 seconds on the line as well.
Yeah, into red time, at the spike finally being planted. Now planting it for Mound. Little do they know there's 2 players about to come through the door. Well, now they do. And NG does find the one. Lib answering back with the operator. There's a double kill on the site, providing the value and the impact. Now a classic at close range. Oh, it's whiffy. The right clicks just betray them a little bit. Jay as well, and Lib still finds the shots. Deus, who'd flanked all the way through the T-side spawn, now has to be the one to do it all. And there's the first kill. Now in the 1 versus 1, Jay down below, sticking on the spike, is able to find the kill. It got scary. What? Bob, why are you doing pull-ups?
It's too much. It's too much. I need to put my energy anywhere. I can't be quiet at this moment. How do they do it? They lost 2 players. They get onto site. 15 seconds. Even not stepping a foot onto the exact location of the spike as well. Get it down nonetheless and find a 2v1 at the very end. The pistol's also whipping somehow. Artisans, I don't want to sound mean, But what are we thinking? What is happening? Such an advantage, yet we always manage to slip it.
Focusing.
Yeah, that's...
Face your fear!
I just... don't even really have an answer right now for Artisans. Yeah, you could say that it was the weaponry in the previous one that let them down a little bit. Deus now with an upgraded weapon, the Vandal in hand, certainly lets it do the work there with the opening kill onto Hitter, who hasn't quite been hitting, as it turns out, as much as they did in the previous couple of maps. Need
Pun
them
intended.
Pun very much intended. Need them to step things up a little bit as we hit the halfway mark in this round. And Hidden Leaf stalled out a little bit. And Artisans look like they might be setting themselves up to chip this 6-round deficit down to 5. But the opening kill has often been fraught with danger in this
30 seconds
matchup,
left.
Bob.
5v4. Time really low, but this is just an extra step for the boost to be engined. Deuce right now by Tree, waiting for anyone to approach right into his loving arms. And with it, escapes death for a moment. Shirsari not being able to approach it. Jay has found their sight. They have found their location. A kill there from Mitri. And it's going to be a post plant nonetheless. With it completely locked out, Deuce shoots a shot, but not connecting. All the wall bang comes through. Jay for the saving grace. And one more from the side of Energy. A 9-3 split. That's the direction we're going to be heading. Even a possible 10-2 if the follow-up is going to be executed well off of the side of Hidden Leaf. As the plant down. Neural Theft there to make sure that there's going to be no slip-ups, because a 1v3 simply would not slide in their own eyes. Goes for a battle, but it's a battle against 2, and that's not something you can win. Final comes through, and the fact that we can still have a 10-2 is just scary.
Spend those creds before we
Yeah,
hit
Hidden
them.
Leaf not content after letting Bind slip through their fingers. Stamping their authority here on the attacking side of Lotus. And like you mentioned, Bob, setting themselves up for a 10-2 half. Artisans
Their fears
with
betrayed them.
the half buy. Just the one Vandal, couple of Bulldogs, a Bucky for Dorcha. And the Guardian as well. Lib is still holding on to this attacking operator with the Omen, by the way. Not normally a combination that you're expecting to see. And again, they're looking to go for this catch on the C site. But Jay whiffs that clear a little bit. It doesn't quite matter in the end as the showstopper gets popped. And again, Artisans forced to vacate the site. Give that space over. At least they're able to do something on the retake as 2 kills come in. A 5 versus 3 Artisans. They're looking to find a 3rd round here. And Sorry on to Hitter is looking to do that as well. Deus on the flank yet again. But that impact won't be needed. As Sorry gets 3 kills. And yet again, it's the magic number.
Magic number indeed. And like that, we have to keep in mind right now, this is the type of performance we will be looking out from the side of Artisans going further into the decider. It's a decider for anyone that might be joining on late. This is the 3rd map, and this is the only chance here that, of course, Artisans have to finish it out. But they're going to have to go for a marathon. This is a long way before they catch up, and 6 rounds is no mere playful act. We have to keep in mind that this pistol goes wrong, and not only will the side of Hidden Leaf get themselves the 10th round, but possibly the 11th due to having that gun advantage, especially on a map like Lotus. And even though they might be defending, which is definitely a disadvantage, keep in mind, a 9-3 is a far distance apart, and mistakes have been seen on the side of Artisans.
Indeed, indeed. Now, for both of these sides, a win is absolutely necessary. We've somehow avoided talking about the stakes so far here, Bob. I can tell you what they are. Both of these teams lost their first group game. So here in Group C, a win here kind of keeps you in it. A loss, you'd say you're not getting to playoffs.
Definitely is. Gonna be looking that way. Rubble here. Good spot. All 5 players in one. And the split here from the side Hidden is definitely going to be a 2-2-1, although some on B definitely can convert it, recycle it over to A very quickly. But quickness is something that Artisans here are showing very so. Dorsha gets on site nicely in the midpoint, trying not to get smoke bang randomly, but still keeping their composure.
Yeah, indeed. Setting themselves up for the retake here in the 5-on-5. At least it stays that way for a bit as the trades come on through. Deus and Mitri with the picks, and Mitri gets a second to keep that Reign of Terror going, but it's quickly answered back upon the other way. Mitri a third to keep things a 2-on-2. The first tap on the spike is defuse, and Deus, oh, it's labored, but still gets one. Hits up, has been having a rough time of things, and is going to continue to do so. As the Reigner of the attack finds 3, and Artisans find 4. They are still just about in this game. And Bob, I have a question for you. Are you a superstitious man?
I can tend to be a very superstitious man, but it depends.
Do you believe in the 9-3 curse?
Do I believe in the 9-3 curse? Depends on the time of the hour. If it's very late and I'm starting to get sleepy, I'll be honest, I'm a non-believer. But in this case and scenario, seeing as it's already the deciding map and these teams have been showing a fantastic performance, I wouldn't complain about it.
Yeah, certainly seems to be on. And obviously, you know, if you look back in the annals of history, we've seen comebacks from 9-3 even after losing the pistol as well. The mind goes back to Fnatic versus Loud at VCT Lock in Sao Paulo. The 11-3 comeback there, it rarely happens, but 9-3 is one of those tricky scorelines where you think you've got a large lead, but you end up losing the pistol. Maybe the bonus slips away, and suddenly your opponents are back in things. So for Hidden Leaf, well, they're maybe not expected to win this round specifically, despite choosing to invest in just the one outlaw in it. Try and get maybe an easy catch onto one of these players.
Still in sight.
Ooh.
They can't let things get away from them.
No, they simply can't. Dorsha looking to follow up with it. Through smoke, into smoke, from one to another, from A to B, and from C to B as well. Matri finds the kill, but the rotation has already been committed to Shirsari, trying to get that plant, doesn't find the comfort, goes for a second. Hida there with a very nice shot with the outlaw in hand, finds it first, second as well, possibly. Kills already being transmitted, and it doesn't seem like we've had a return of frag. Deuce is looking to step up to the task, definitely does it with the Bulldog in hands, and all 4 players lined up nicely, but Lip still puts it up with a pistol. 2 peek out, and 1 comes in, as only the final one remaining.
Wow.
Deuce to be a lamp for the slaughter. 10-4. And the fight from Hidden Leaf is not over just yet.
Well. I said, you know, they're not expected to win this round. Hey,
Yeah.
My bad, because they won it. I don't know whether I'm apologizing there just to the audience for being wrong, or I'm apologizing to Artisans specifically for cursing things for them. Either way, the fact of the matter is, Hidden Leaf get that 6th round lead yet again as they end up winning the follow-up. And that knocks Artisans down to a very low buy, just the Marshal on side. But if that previous round has taught us anything, all you need are pistols and one scoped weapon, and you can be able to win things out fairly handily.
No kills yet. It's a surprise, I'll be honest. Some early drops really tend to happen because players want to be as curious as they can be as to how quickly they can get themselves the opener. Now, a lot of damage twice on an omen from both sides. Sorry, doesn't feel too much. But as long as the kill doesn't come through, I guess it matters not. Waiting for it, gate crash. And opens up a new opportunity for them to possibly go for a rotate, which is definitely being opened up to their own vision as Wasted shuts it down, but I don't think that's the passion taken out just yet from the side, while Miltree is taken out one by one.
Yeah, there's the Guardian as well from Jay. Starting to sing. Artisans, they're really facing the music now. LC 1-on-5. It's good for a couple, but in the end, it just doesn't come on out. I believe that was a team ace. Every single player on Hidden Leaf getting a kill. And it's that team effort that's getting them across the line in such considerable fashion. It's now extending that lead to 7 rounds here, Bob. Artisans, I mean, they have to win the next 9 on a bounce to win here, avoiding overtime.
There you go. For a moment, was a bit terrified. Didn't see any buys from Dorsha. Came in last second nonetheless. And if this one doesn't go the side of Artisans, the next one's going to be Pistol. And
yeah.
as they're going to be on match point as well, I'd be cutting my losses by that point.
Yeah.
We'll never give up yet. We've seen the side of Hidden Leaf do some wonders. Who says that Artisans can do the same? Although they've been lacking behind quite a lot. But for now, the track record, let's keep it out of composition. Let's still have this conversation on the hopes that they can bring it out with a curse, be it with whatever they want to rely on. The rotation here might be cut off, though. And although a shot from the Guardian changes the pace, one more still expected, fights back against it. But I don't think this was much of a battle because, holy, Artisans are bullying them.
Hidden Leaf are just getting battered around inside of this one. Wasted, though, is good for the first and the second. Not quite the third, though, as MLC comes on in. And for the side Hidden Leaf, they have to hope that Mitri is good enough to find these 3 players. It's some decent damage being dealt by Artisans, even if they lose this one. But they have it right in their grasp. And it's good post-plant positioning as well. All these players off-site, not giving too much away. Too many angles to watch for Mitri. Just letting that time tick away, as now in comes the near side as well. And Artisans, no clutch allowed this time. They do lock it out. It's still a mighty long road from here.
A full split half. This is a quarter here, 6 rounds. And as Miltree, in the final moments, realized maybe saving would have been a better decision, but the time of the back-off was initiated. He was already a dead man walking. Hidden Leaf there, still sitting comfortable. They can buy themselves some extra guns. Although for the Artisans, they're mostly looking to have it in the long run. If they lose 1 round, it's already going to be dire, but as long as it's not 2 within the second half, I think that's what matters most. But the danger still lies within.
That it absolutely does. Showstopper could potentially be the deciding factor in this one. All these players grouped up. Jay finds one, shut down, and a 2 versus 2, an even trade out here. As the action dissipates and the rotation in towards the A site. This is where the Cypher's set up. They will have information, and with that smoke coming on through, potential to try and draw the rotations out from the team. They're staying stalwart in their positions. Instead, relying on the retake, potentially is heard. The teleportation as well. Neural Theft able to come on in. Just read the position perfectly. Dorcha, that's a ballsy play to dive right on in, and is not going to come to anything. Wasted the super anchor on the site, finding 3.
Wasted is the man you want to have as a friend. The one you want in your comp matches will be wasted. And with that timeout, I mean, let's see it. Okay. Not only is it a timeout from the winning side, but they have always thrived off of it. It's a surprising thing because their timeouts seem to be random. They seem to be a bit off. And from our perspective, it's very valid, but they work off of it sometimes. And right now, seeing as it's going to be match point for the next 7 rounds, unless we see a complete switch up in these following on the side of course, Hidden Leaf, which could possibly happen. Again, a slip up from the side of Artisans, and it's over. 7 rounds flawlessly. I have not seen them do that today.
Yeah. We haven't seen anyone do that today.
That's fair. I mean,
as a matter of fact.
We kind of have in the first map. Hidden Leaf did go for 6 rounds in a row.
Yeah, that's still not 7.
Okay, okay, sure. You know, no, continue. I'm off.
Like, even if that happens, they still lose. I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
kind of should just sort of show the gravity of the situation, right? That Artisans find themselves in. Because again, you lose here, you're probably not going through to playoffs. You win here, at least you give yourself a chance. As, yeah. Hidden Leaf only won 2 rounds in their last best of 3, and Artisans only 5. So, for both of these squads, doing definitely better than that.
Face
But
your
still a
fear!
long road to go. Oh, the Tripwire is going to be able to catch Dorcha. Just a slingshot backwards. But the entry onto the site nonetheless, Artisans have control, and they have the spike down.
Could be huge. And what?
Oh, that's
Oh,
unfortunate.
that must be painful! As now Hidden Leaf are shutting them down once at a time. And poor old Sorry being on the Sheriff in the possible round.
Oh, it's done.
Final 1v1 as well. And they do win it out. That's going to be a good starter here. But the defuse is through. And just like that, we have our best of 3 winner. And my camera's still not loaded.
That's unfortunate. Wait, viewers at home, I'll give you a second. I'll give you a second to predict where Bob is right now. Just, you know, think to yourselves, maybe say it in the chat. What is
That's
that
too hard.
PuffoBob up to? What is
No,
what is he doing?
It's too hard to guess. You would have no idea.
There he is.
Hello?
What a win though from Hidden Leaf. I
Yeah.
mean, it went well for them. That's certainly for sure. As well, let's just say a fairly dominant final map. And, you know, even the one they lost, they never really looked fully in control, but, you know, they took it all the way to overtime. Certainly the better squad on the day. And as for them now, that puts them in a decent position in their group on 3 points. So, you know, 1 win, 1 loss, everything still to play for in their final match, which, you know, has good signs for the future. As for Artisans, I don't necessarily know if they're mathematically eliminated, but realistically, they're not making playoffs, right, Bob?
It's I mean, again, they're going to need a miracle, and we didn't see it today, so I doubt we're going to be seeing it in the future. At this point, we can safely say that they are sadly not going to be able to make it to playoffs, but still a good attempted performance. They went well into that second round. On Bind, they really had the side of Hidden Leaf running for their money, but the third one really didn't work out well. It did not work at all, sadly. And Hidden Leaf, I mean, they were simply better in this scenario. On map 1 and map 3, they took it, which well played to them. I feel like Hidden Leaf really were playing well. They played together. The second one was a bit of a cluster, but they managed to make up for it in this third without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. They did very, very well there on Lotus. And I mean, the good news for them, like we said, they get a chance to stay alive. And I mean, of all the players in this series, Bob, who stood out to you the most? Because for me, my eye is on Hitter, right? Play was absolutely insane on the Neon map 1 on Corrode. And again, did well on the Fade map 2 and the ISO on map 3, and you know, had the ultimate just in the right time to completely seal things away from that final round. Everything kind of worked out well. That would be my player of the day. How about yourself?
I think for me, it stood out Jay. I really loved seeing Jay. Jay popped off when needed. Critical moments were constantly up to him. And when on that raise on the second map, there were certainly highlights I can mention. And I feel like Jay did the job well. Although maybe not completely as consistent as Hina, but still in general really well played.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, we know things are getting late, so we're not going to waste any more of your time at home. Bob has to go to bed because he's he's very sleepy guy. So yeah, we're gonna round out the stream. We've had, obviously, thank you to PuffoBob for casting with me, Charlotte,
My
on this
pleasure.
one. On the observing, we've had Tangerine and Frostwind, Kumii on the production, and the only people left to thank are you at home for tuning in and supporting the stream. So we'll see you next
Yeah.
time for more RCS action. Good night.
Bye.